Good morning, fellow brothers and sisters of the light. I'm afraid most of the crew has made their way onto the Isle. Let me fill you in on the situation. Last time, the investigators decided to split up, sending Constance to Wrecker Isle ahead of the group to integrate herself with the traders and workers there. She found passage on a rough-looking trade vessel captained by a woman named Frida. Frida took a shine to the flirtatious Constance and served as a valuable guide to the ins and outs of Wrecker Isle. The two travelled together to Wrecker Isle Inn, where Constance met a few locals while Frida discussed business with the Godmother. The server Justina offered to help Constance get a job at the inn, while a drunkard named Orvar told Constance to be careful around the Amundsens. While Constance pressed Orvar for details, he agreed to share more if she visited his home on Graveyard Isle with a gift of more alcohol. Meanwhile, the rest of the party travelled with their contact, Father Oscar Udrin, aboard their newly purchased warship. They spent the trip gathering as much information from Oscar as they could, then docked at Wrecker Isle the day after Constance's arrival. Their ship was so grand that it drew the Amundsen's attention, and the Godmother welcomed them off the ship personally. Constance has decided to spend the night with Frida aboard her ship, while the rest of the investigators are making their way to meet with the Godmother and get started on the case. And this is where the story continues. All right, good evening, fellow geeks. Welcome to this week's episode of Vaesen. Before we get jumping into the session and all the details about that, let's talk about the awesome players we have joining us tonight. We'll go ahead, we'll just go top left corner, clockwise order. Bill, let's start with you. Tell us a little bit about yourself, where you can be found on the internet, and tell us about your character.
My name is Bill. Hello. You can find everything I do at consumethismedia.com. There's Escape This Podcast, Solve This Murder. Check out Play This Game _live. I'll say hi in the chat. That's a Twitch channel. Go and say hi in there when we're go follow that. We're streaming sometimes, just playing dumb games. I'm playing Galen. Galen is now a pirate king. Galen Fuskera is a academic. He's a pirate now because he bought a big ship, and just buying a ship makes you a pirate. I don't know if you know this as a fact. You don't have to do any pirating. You just have to own a ship. It's like One Piece rules. You know, in One Piece, everyone's a pirate, but they very rarely do any crimes. They're just like, I have a ship. I'm a pirate now. Okay, man, that's fine. Fun fact about Galen. Galen has never been in a duel. Right, he hangs out with aristocracy in the 1800s. There's a lot of duels going on. Galen has never technically been in one, except for once, but it was very strange. He knew two different people who were friends of his. They didn't like each other. They were quabbling over various personal and academic issues. And unbeknownst to him, because there were so many duels going on, he ended up being the second for both members of this duel. They each asked him separately, but they didn't tell him who they were dueling. And he agreed, yeah, I'll be your second, because he always does. I'll be your second. And when neither of them turned up to the duel, he technically had to fight himself. He and the guy who was administering the duel sort of looked at each other. They didn't know what was going on, and Galen was like, we both die, and he fell over. So neither one won the duel, but technically Galen has once dueled himself in a series of strange circumstances. That's my Galen fact for today.
I love that so much. Fantastic. Pleasure as always, Bill. Thank you. Em, let's go with you next. Tell us about you. Tell us about your character.
My name is Em, and I live, breathe, and eat TTRPGs. Yeah, that's my new intro line. Let me know what you think in the comments. I am playing Katrina Nordenflicht, who is an officer of the army, though she is retired now as she is well into her middle age. Great friends with Galen, and she is currently writing that romance novel that I mentioned last week. What you didn't know is that the main character is very loosely based on Constance, and it is the story is called Hidden Agenda. It's about a very secretive person. It's not very good. And yeah, it's pretty great. She actually, I'll save that. I'll save that for the Wombat Fuzz and always a wolf section of this tale.
Fantastic. Excellent. Thank you very much. Moving on, Tori, tell us about yourself. Tell us about your character.
Chase, your order doesn't make any sense. What you're just like hopping back and forth. I don't know.
I guess that's not clockwise, is it? I guess it's
No.
top to bottom.
No,
top
you
to,
didn't
top to
do
bottom is what I
anything.
meant.
Depends
You
what
broke
kind of
all
clock
of
you
your
on.
promises. You've sent us into chaos already.
Listen, this is the kind of clock I follow, all right?
No, I think actually Chase is just determined to surprise me no matter what.
I'm even doing it on accident now.
Okay, hi, I'm Tori. I'm part of Level 1 Geek. That's pretty much all you need to know about me. I'm playing Constance Doyle, who's the private investigator of this crew of investigators. And she's currently separated from the rest of the group. She is having a little midnight tryst with a very cool and flirtatious pirate captain. She's not actually a pirate captain,
She
but as
has
we
a ship
established,
that
yes,
makes her a
yes,
pirate.
exactly. She
You
is
don't know she's a pirate,
traitor.
not to be fair.
That's true. All right, pirate captain. We have now amended the record. And my fun fact is, my fun fact was inspired by Bill's fun fact. Constance has had, not that this was what she intended, but on 2 separate occasions, she has had a quarreling lovers duel over her hand, and it one of them did end in a death. She felt very badly about that, and the other one just ended in quabbling, as you coined, Bill.
Was it quabbling as they both cowered it away and Galen subbed in for both?
Yeah.
Galen was the second.
And that's how we met.
It all connects.
Fantastic. I love that. Good stuff. Thank you, Tori. Matt, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you can be found on the internet, and about your character.
Absolutely. My name is Matt. I'm improv and RPG everywhere. And Robert is the servant. I dare say head servant of Galen Fiscara, who likes to solve problems with his fists as opposed to words. But I'd say that something that Galen would be familiar with is that if Robert is ever dealing with anything, if he's kind of lost in thought or like struggling with something, that's when he won't wear his hand wraps, because he's found that the pain takes his mind off whatever he's dealing with. And that's the fun fact.
Ooh, right in the feels. Man, I love it. I love it so much. Thank you so much. All right. That is our awesome cast that we have with us this evening, our players, as it were. I'm Chase. I'm the game master for this campaign. Also, I want to recognize behind the curtain here, we have Katie as part of our Level 1 Geek team as well. She's running the production. She's keeping everything going. She's the one chatting with you guys in the chat on that Level 1 Geek account. So thanks for Katie, and appreciate you running the stream and keeping the chat interactions going. And on the note of chat interactions, we have some for you guys. If you guys would like to either subscribe, be Patreon supporters, send bits, or if you just want to use our channel point system that we call mana points, you guys can influence the stream tonight. With channel points, you guys can give either blessed or cursed dice. We have those on the screen here marked for you guys. They are dice pools. If you give blessed dice, that is just a beneficial dice pool that our players can pull from. It gives them extra dice on rolls. The cursed dice pool is the same thing, except if they succeed with it, there is a catch that I get to choose to the success. So it might be a win plus a twist, or a win plus something scary. It depends on how they use it. And then also we have community goals up. We have add a villain or add a ally into the story. I put those up every week. We're about 50% towards villain, 30% towards ally last time I checked. So, nope, we're at 70 and 40 now, but the villain is still winning. So, we've had some fun stuff with those in the past. If you guys meet those by combining your points, we'll add a new character into the story. And then we also have sponsorships, which we're going to go over in a moment. But if you guys would like to go over and beyond, send bits, Patreon, subscribe. We will shout you out in the form of making your name on Twitch into an NPC, and we'll discuss them at the start of next session. So if you guys would like that, throw some stuff our way. And no matter what you guys do to support for any of those, or if you just tell your friends about the show, if you're just here watching, we appreciate you. So thank you so much. And then one additional thank you to Knights of the Steel. If you guys see our lovely character art that we have here in the corners of our screen, that is from Knight of the Steel's app, NPC for Hire. It is free for download on Apple or Android devices. If you guys want to use some awesome art for your campaigns, check it out. I highly recommend it. And thank you to them for letting us use it for our stream. I believe that is everything out of the way to get started. Oh, I guess the game we're playing tonight, in case you are not aware, we are playing Vaesen by Free League. I am doing an interpretation / twist on one of their mysteries called Silver of the Sea from A Wicked Secret and Other Mysteries, which is this awesome book here. Please do not eat it. It is a TTRPG, but it is mine.
No promises.
And yeah, that's what we got going on tonight. If you guys want to catch up on the series, we did a recap at the start, but also all these episodes are up on YouTube. They go up on Fridays following the session at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. So check those out. Go follow, subscribe, and to any of you watching on YouTube, a big thank you to you guys as well. And we hope to catch you guys in a future live stream. Okay, I think let's go ahead before we jump back into the story where we left off. Let's do a little bit of flashbacking and discussing about sponsorships and how your sponsors are helping you in this current situation, whether it be something they did for you before you set out on your mystery, or I think you guys brought a couple of them onto the ship with you this time. So yeah, let me know how they're helping you guys out. That's fair. All right, yeah. Who wants to start? Who's got some sponsors?
Any takers?
I'll start. I'd say like maybe when Robert leads the priest back onto the ship, that's when he encounters his good friends, the wolf and the wombat, once again. Of course, this is leading the priest back because we don't want the priest to see the pistol with that emblem on it. So I imagine that as Robert like leads him back, he doesn't quite he hasn't quite pieced everything together yet, but Wolf and the Wombat are just kind of there. And he like when he leads him back, he's like, Mr. Fiscara wanted me to bring him back, and then they immediately are on it. They're on it. Like, I imagine that the wombat leads the priest into like a side room so that the wolf can explain to Robert exactly why. And in that case, the wolf, as he's explaining, like, okay, if he sees that, he might go off, and then that ruins everything. And in this case, Robert everything finally clicking. That's where he gets that free push from. It's almost like this is a second chance at understanding. And then as far as the experience is concerned, once the wombat comes back with the priest, it's like the wombat kind of talks in kind of coded language with Robert to say, okay, we were able to settle things a little bit, make sure his stomach is okay. And Robert just kind of like, oh, okay, this is a way we can be a little sneaky about it without necessarily, without having to be obvious. And I've got one more from Anthrama, but if you don't mind, I'd like to save that for when I use it.
Of course.
Just to flavor it based on that ability. It'll be a free success.
Nice. Clutch, I love it. Awesome. Thank you, Matt. Who else has got some sponsors they want to shout out?
I can go next. Like always, we've sponsorship from the wolf and from the wombat. And like always, it's a similar sort of situation. The wolf is becoming more and more a trusted confidant of Galen's. And I think the whole sort of the group here, there's a lot of nice kind of underworld connection and just expertise from the wolf. They've done a lot. They've smuggled. They've infiltrated. They've convinced. They know their way around both the especially when we're dealing with this sort of the kind of underworld element of the mystic north or the mythic north or whichever kind of north we're in. And so for me, my free push, so I have the capacity to re-roll again and add the successes for free, comes from basically on the way over in the last sort of part of this trip on the boat, inviting the wolf into my captain's quarters, my illustrious and well-appointed captain's quarters, and just basically discussing, like trying to get any information about what's going on Wrecker Isle or the types of people who run these sorts of businesses. Like, I know there's a herring baron and there's a godmother. How would they play off against each other? What kind of things? And while the wolf doesn't know well enough to say, give me a free success, at least understands the politics of the underworld a little bit to get me a free push at some point here when I need it. So a lot of good advice from the wolf. The wombat, meanwhile, I just have a bit of a sense of pride, and this will get me some experience because I've started to figure out the wombat's tricks. And while I didn't find out exactly which of the crew members the wombat is, I've definitely 100% narrowed it down enough to ensure that they are one of the crew people who has been charged with scraping things off the side of the hull at one point. And so I know he just had a very bad day at some point. So did some other more innocent crew members, but I rest happy in the knowledge that I definitely made him have a terrible day of work once. Just some good experience. So that's where I'm at for Galen Fiscara.
Fantastic. This randomly made me think, you guys took Oscar's gun away, right?
Yes. Yes,
did he relinquish it?
Yeah.
When we talked about it.
He
Okay.
relinquished.
Okay. Random.
Yes, we had a whole
train of
discussion about the 11th commandment being
Yeah.
that you shouldn't have a gun if you don't know how to use it.
Yeah.
I very
Yes.
vividly remember that.
That's the most
Okay.
important one.
thought. Excellent. All right. Who's going next? Em or Tori?
Do you want to finish
Sure.
the ship? Because you are
Yeah,
on board with
yeah,
them.
that makes sense. I should do that. So, first off, my extra XP. Katrina went to visit the wolf because the wolf is supposed to be writing a foreword and for her book that's coming up. And unfortunately, the wolf was really distracted because there were some crew members actually heckling the wolf up on deck. And Katrina was having none of that. Cannot, first off, mess with her friend. And secondly, you cannot be distracting her friend from doing this favor. So Katrina Nordenflicht got very officery on these people, and even went so far as to teach a few of them a lesson. And what started off duel-esque actually ended up being more educational, where they held a knife and she's like, no, that's not how you hold a knife, and fixed it, smooth. It was very much secondhand lines, if you know what I'm referencing there. And yeah, it actually, what started off as a pretty harsh conflict ended up being a very nice bonding experience with the crew, and she's made some friends there now. That's where she got her extra experience from. And then her free push. There was a terrible argument that happened with the wombat. It's the first time that they have argued ever. She has normally agreed with everything that the wombat has had to say, but the wombat was very insistent that there be a person on a horse on the cover of her romance novel. And as you all know, Katrina hates horses. And so there was a vehement argument back back and forth over, well, this is the staple. Anybody who picks up a book will immediately know that it's a romance novel if there's a horse on the cover. And she was like, no, I refuse. It's not attractive. It's a stupid, stinky animal. It's gonna make you sore if you write it for too long. It was a huge thing. It was a huge ordeal, and she did not feel that the main character of her book would enjoy being around such terrible beasts. The end.
Fantastic. I love it. Good stuff. All right, Tori, last but not least, what you got?
Yeah, mine is pretty simple. Wolf and Wombat just have a way of kind of knowing what's going on, regardless of where the goings-ons are happening. So they arranged for a package to be delivered to Frida's ship where Constance is staying. They just, as soon as they docked, they just went right to work and figured out exactly where Constance was and you know, all of that situation. So when Constance went back or is going to go back to the ship at some point after they've docked, she will have a package from both of them waiting that has a quick guide to boat terms and pirate talk in case she needs to sort of blend in further with the locals here. That's gonna give her little extra XP, and then her free push is they slipped her a little no, you know what? They slipped her a tincture with some ginger to help with the seasickness, because they also know that she gets seasick. So that's gonna give her the free push there. So thanks, Wolf and Wombat. You guys working together. I always appreciate a care package from the Wolf and the Wombat.
Fantastic. Good stuff. Yeah. Thank you, players, for the shout out, and big thank you to our sponsors. Thank you so much for all you guys do for supporting our channel and supporting what we do. Much love, and we appreciate you guys. Okay. I think that is all of the pre-session things we need to go over. So let's go ahead and jump into the session. Oh, am I muted there? There we go.
You're not.
Okay. Yeah. So last time we left off, Constance arrived the night prior, and she came in on a ship with Frida and spent the night with Frida. And then the next morning, the rest of the crew got there and were welcomed by the Adminsons. And we're going to discuss business with them at the inn.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think we're going to go ahead and I think we're going to start with everybody but Constance here as you guys are traveling to the inn. Now, as a reminder, you are being led by the lovely Bass and Pete and Abela. So that is your escort currently. And you guys all noticed as you're walking a figure that you recognize from the photos, which is one of the other Amundsen brothers, Zacharias. And he was just
Herring Baron.
The Herring Baron, just kind of watching you guys as you walked by. This place smells awful. As you guys are walking by the dock past the warehouse, it is just potent with fish stench and train oil. And it's a little unbearable as you're close to the warehouse. It kind of clears up as you get to the inn, but that smell is always just kind of lingering in the air here, mixed with sea salt and the sea air. So, you guys arrive at the inn. Guess let's get your tokens on here now. Constance is off at the dock. We've got you three at the inn, and you guys told Oscar to stay on the boat. So Oscar's
because he was definitely, when he saw I don't know how clear it was last time. I think it was that we saw that the brothers, the Bogus Buns and Bean guys, had on their person a just a gun that is just like, hi, I'm a gun and I belong to a priest. It was like a silver fancy revolver with a crucifix, something right out of Helsing that you'd used to shoot a vampire with. And it was like, okay, well, that's going to be the priest's gun, and a fancy pocket watch. And it very much seemed like they had the trappings of the priest. So if we'd let the other priest see it, the one that we brought with us, he would have just been like, "Those are my friends' things," and
Right.
And it would have been just finger guns because you took away his guns,
Yeah,
so
we
it would
took
have
away
been
his guns.
super uncomfortable. Yeah.
Would have been
and
prayer
so we
guns.
thought, yeah. So we thought, okay, we should leave him because if he sees these people, he's going to freak out, right? But at the same token, like this is evidence for us that they were involved in the priest's death. Something we knew, but we didn't know, you know. So that's why he was on the ship.
Fantastic. All right. So yeah, anything you guys want to do on your way to the inn, or are you guys just following them and going about business?
Is there anything else to do?
There's always things to do.
I'm not
Especially
talking
if
to
you
you,
want to
Chase.
do
I'm talking to
them.
my teammates, not my enemy.
Silly Chase. I'm looking at my character sheet right now. Does my dog Odin seem to be distrustful of anybody here so far? Like, what's my dog's vibe check?
Why don't you go ahead and roll an observation?
Who wants to eat herring?
An observation?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. My dog gives me a bonus to vigilance, close combat, and investigation. Am I still...
Yeah, just no bonus to it, but you can roll an observation for the doggo.
Sounds
I
good.
don't know if your dog has a better
Nice.
like motive sensing than you do.
You know, just like sometimes like if we like we're bumping into somebody who was like had a terrible smell to them that maybe I can't detect.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, no, not picking up anything.
Nothing.
The dog is very distracted. So as a reminder, it's extremely busy here.
Yeah.
Way more busy than a place this small and simple has any business being. There are crowds of people as if this was like a commercial hub central for trade, even though it's just a few buildings. So the dog is pretty distracted, honestly. There's just a lot of people in the way. The dog has a hard time even maneuvering with all of you.
That makes sense.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, you guys reach the inn. And as you enter the inn, you escape a little bit from that awful smell from the warehouse and are greeted more by the smell of warm meals and ale, and also just still a lot of people. Robert, something that would draw your attention because you saw a picture of the woman, as you can see there is one server who is frantically trying to serve food and drink here. Even this early in the morning, lots of people are buying ales. Pretty rough looking crowd is the general vibe in this inn. But you see this woman serving food and drinks, who Oscar showed you a photo of on the boat.
Great. When we're in here, like, are we immediately sitting with everyone, or do we have like a chance to, I guess, mingle a little bit?
So as you guys enter the inn, Pace and Pete are going to go stand at the back of the inn, just lean against a wall. But Abela is still leading you somewhere.
Oh, okay. In
Chase-
that case,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Matt.
I'll just note that she's there and maybe try to make eye contact in an inconspicuous way, but then keep following, just to not hold up Abela.
Okay, so you're trying to slip away, you said?
Oh no, I'm like just trying to make eye contact.
Oh,
with
just
her.
make
So I was
eye
trying to
contact
catch
with
her
her. Okay.
eye.
Gotcha.
Like,
Yeah.
just kind of like someone who's like, I'm trying to give the impression of, I know you from somewhere, and then continuing on.
Okay. Yeah, you know, she is so, I don't know if there's something you want to roll for that. I would let you roll, look at skills here. Robert.
Did we figured out who she looks like? She looks like some actress, and I can't figure out who. I can't remember. There's someone.
She does look familiar to me as well.
Jennifer Gardner?
Oh, I think you're right.
I
think
think,
yeah.
Wait, I need to see her again.
Pull her up, everybody. Pull her up. That's Jennifer Garner.
Everybody go Google.
That's 100% Jennifer Garner.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see it.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you roll me a stealth, Robert? I don't know if there's like a better approach.
Okay. I'll take it. Stealth is pretty solid for Robert, I'd like to say.
Oh, a
One.
success.
There you
Yeah, I
go.
got one.
Yeah, I mean, she is pretty busy, but you do trade glances. She kind of pauses for a little bit. She notices that you're looking at her. You do a point.
Oh no, it's. I'd say mostly just the eyes, just
Just
like
eyes. Okay. Yeah, she kind of quickly shrugs it off, but you do definitely get her attention for a brief
Great,
moment.
great, thank you.
Once you guys are in there, Abella is
Wait.
going to lead you. Oh, yeah?
I'm actually going to give Galen a look, and then I'm
I
gonna
know we know
leave.
each other. You don't need to
Yeah.
pretend we know each other.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
you
gonna
can
go try and stand by Pace and Pete, because this might be the only chance we have to talk to them without their mom, and I can do the whole lean against the wall, looking like the guard type deal.
Yeah, makes sense. Her
Okay.
security's at the door. Our security can be at the door.
Exactly.
Oh, right. You did say that you were the security for the
Yeah.
for the ship, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
For Galen.
Yeah. Okay. So for Galen and Robert, Abela leads you into a door underneath the stairs, back behind the bar. There's you can see there's a door that leads to a kitchen, and then there's this door underneath the stairs, and she leads you in there. We'll cut to Katrina first, because you are out and about still in the inn. As you're approaching Pete and Pace, they always just kind of have this shit-eating grin on their face nonstop. And they seem to just rough up people that are walking by for no good reason. Some guy that's clearly a little bit inebriated this early in the morning, Pace just grabs him. Do what you're told or we'll rough you up, and shoves him out of the way. And then Pete goes by and shoves the same guy who's already kind of stumbling. Yeah, you do what you're told.
You didn't tell them to do anything.
And they both make eye contact with you and just give you a grin as you approach.
I see that I have found the strongest people on the island.
Damn straight.
So, if you're so strong and probably have the smarts to match, give me the lay of the land here. Who should I be watching out for?
Everybody.
Everybody.
Bunch of bastards around here. Yeah, everyone's a bastard in this place.
Now, what makes them bastards? It seems as if they are flocking here for your business, are they not?
They both look at each other, and then in sync, they look at you and say at the same time, you ever sailed on a ship?
Yes.
People who sail on ships are generally bastards, aren't they? Something about the ocean.
She gets a truly thoughtful look on her face. Actually, I have kind of noticed that. Do you think it's just something about the ocean that draws the bastardness out?
They both just kind of shrug. Can
You know,
we help you?
Yes, you're standing guard. I also am standing guard. What, you don't like making conversations?
No, conversation's good.
Okay. Well, tell me
So-
more about this bastidic ocean. Any good stories from this place?
Nah, we don't sail much. Where do you come from?
Do you really want to know about me, or do you want to tell me more about you?
You're an esteemed guest of our mother. Of course we want to know where you come from.
I've traveled all over. Currently, I am residing in Ustalov. No, not Ustalov. Uppsala. That's another fantasy world.
Yeah, Uppsala's just a real place. We can just go to Uppsala.
We're gonna go to Uppsala.
They both
Solid.
kind of nod in unison, impressed at the name drop. Pace turns towards somebody and slaps a drink out of his hand. You're cut off. That's the sixth one I've seen this morning. The guy kind of makes a gesture and picks up his mug and stumbles off. Just full of drunkards so early in the morning. And then Pete pulls out a flask and takes a sip.
Yes, the inebriation so early. How disrespectful. But again, I was trying to ask about this area. Any special stories from the sea?
Mom's a legendary fisherwoman.
Legendary. What made her so?
Mhm. She just
Bloody
is
mermaid.
really good at catching herring. Just runs his business.
Did she ever tell you how she got to be so good?
Just born with it, pure skill.
They're lying, aren't they?
You asking me to add a character?
Yeah, I'm asking
Roll
you
an
that.
observation.
Can
I
somebody
want 2
please?
successes on 4 dice.
Oh, nice.
2 6s, 2 1s.
Just
Yeah,
very
they're-
quickly, can people quickly add to the add an ally so these two can join our team? I'm starting to like them.
They
yeah,
care
they're
about
definitely
people's
full
health.
of it.
Yeah. Oh,
They
come
even
on.
seem a little bit nervous as you bring that up.
I'll lower my voice and I'll take a coin out of my pocket and be like, come on. The next round can be on me. I'm bored of all this sailor talk. Tell me a good story. It doesn't have to be a true story. And I try and play it like I won't really believe what they're telling me, so they might as well tell me anyways, so I'll buy them this.
Why don't you roll me manipulation?
No, I'm not good at that.
Well, you
What
should have tried to
how many dice do we
manipulate
have?
them.
I know. That's so true. That's so true. I should have just beat the hell out of them.
Yeah.
I am going
Shoot
to
'em.
use I'm
Kill
going to
them
use
all.
4 cursed dice. How about that?
Ooh, okay.
Wonderful.
Let's go.
Rolling.
We starting early.
Yeah. Okay, 1 success on a cursed dice, Chase.
One success.
Do I need
on
a push?
cursed dice.
Is that enough?
No,
Do I need
that's
to push?
good.
Okay.
No, you're good. I mean, do you want to push?
No,
could
not if I
push.
don't need to.
I mean, there's always you can always do better.
Here we go. Free push. 2 successes.
2 successes. Okay.
Nice.
Noted. They look at each other and they sit down at a bench. They push some people out of it. Hey, employees only here. They
Yes,
get
employees
people up out
only
of the
here.
seats. She's, whatever. Yeah, take a seat.
I'm sitting.
They look really nervous. One of them takes a coin from you, and you hear them whispering to each other. I don't know, good stories. You know, good story. Nobody ever asks for stories.
Just tell me about how your mother became such a good fishwoman.
She was just born with it. That's irrelevant. No, I got one though. I got one. Okay. Back when I was just a young lad. Oh, is this the one? Is this the one about Pinchy? Yeah. It's the one. Don't spoil it. It's the one about Pinchy. All right. Back when I was a young lad, maybe the age of 12, I was out scrapping up for treasures in the ocean. These are the shallow waters, right? Scrapping up, trying to see if I could find shiny things. I've heard that you can do that sometimes.
Yeah,
And
scrapping up. I did that often.
yeah, so I thought I saw something shiny, right? So I went down, I got down on my hands and knees. I'm a bit scared. I was a bit scared of the water back then, so it was a big step for me. Got down on my hands and knees. I reached for it, and it wasn't shiny. It was sharp, and it came up, and a crab was on my finger. That was Pinchy. Don't spoil the name yet. That's the ending. And as he's telling the story, you can see Zacharias walks in through the entrance, straightens up his coat, immediately makes eye contact with you and the 2 brothers, and gives a nod and comes walking towards all of you. Hey, Pace, shut up. Zacharias is coming. And they both look kind of nervous. He comes walking up. Good evening. May I take this extra seat?
I was saving it for you. And I'll push it out with my foot. I take my own chair and I shove his chair out of the way. No, just with the foot.
He gives a warm smile, nods, and sits down. Pace, Pete, are you harassing this lovely woman? No, Zacharias, we're not. We're telling the story about Pinchy.
Okay.
I hate to say it, dear brothers, but I don't think that somebody with a coat that tells a history like that is interested in hearing about your pet crab as a boy. Yeah, you're right. It's probably don't. We gotta go do security detail anyways. Nice talking with you. You can we keep the coin?
No.
They both look kind
Rude.
of sad. He slides the coin back
Think
across
of a
the
better
table.
tale, and I'll take it. And then this coin will be yours.
We'll think about it.
Do.
They stand up and they go back. They shove somebody out of the way on the way back to the back of the inn. Deepest apologies for those two. They're not social folk, if you couldn't tell.
What gave it away? The fact they hit everyone they talked to?
That's not even the worst of it. Name is Zacharias Amundsen. Nice to meet you. He grabs your hand. He's going to do like a polite kiss on the back of the hand.
Chase, is this man flirting?
He
Is
seems
this young 20-year-old buck flirting with a cougar? 30
Whoa.
years his elder?
Go ahead and
Another
roll an
novel.
observation.
Is he
I'm going
20?
to.
How old is he?
How old is he? That's a
Doesn't
good
look
question.
20.
He's older than 20.
How old does he look?
He's
Maybe
20.
like mid-30s.
Oh, that's not crazy.
Pace and Pete are like 50s
One
maybe. They're quite old.
success.
One success. Yeah, he does seem quite flirtatious.
She doesn't trust this. Immediately, we're not trusting it. Sorry, what did he say prior, Chase? My brain panicked.
He just introduced himself as Zacharias.
A good Christian name. Katrina Nordenflicht.
Is it Christian? I wouldn't know.
I traveled with a priest in the past, and I'm fairly sure that is a Christian name.
Are you religious yourself?
No, she starts to deny it, and then was like, remembers the fact that she's traveling with a priest now. When it is prudent to be so.
He leans back very casually in his chair, crosses his legs. He's got some heavy sailor's boots. I hope I don't offend. I know that when one says they're not Christian, it can upset the wrong type of people. And I do hope that the priest you're traveling with is not that awful priest Udgrin.
I said in the
Udrin,
past.
Ugrin. In the past.
Yes.
Well, he likes to involve himself in a lot of people's business, and he's one name I hear commonly around here.
What is his issue?
Oh, I think a better question, if you want to get out of here before midnight, would be, what is not his issue?
Sounds like there's a story here. Care to tell it?
Just a bit of an uptight fellow. He comes in here all the time, calling this the den of sin.
Oh, what? Drinking? What type of sin could he possibly think is happening here?
Well, drinking, fighting, typical sailor things.
Well, he better not come to an army anytime soon.
Couldn't agree more. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name?
Katrina.
Katrina, may I buy you a drink?
You may.
He's gonna flag Justina. Justina seems immediately like on alert when she sees him flag her down. You can see she drops everything else. She comes running over. Yeah, what can I get you, Zacharias? A drink for the good lady here. Top shelf ale, best we have. Get a full tankard for a pint. Can you handle a pint, dear?
Of
Talking to you.
course.
Okay.
She's just giving him like a flat look, like, are you kidding me? Of course I can handle a pint. Yes, I can handle a pint.
He makes a hand gesture to Justina, and she nods, and she rushes off to go get it. She is an incredible worker. Our only employee tending all of these people. Quite sharp.
It takes a special kind of person who can find the right worker.
So I saw you walking in with my mother. High profile?
Perhaps. I hope. We'll
I
see
don't
if this
see
is the
her-
right type of business for us.
I don't see her interact with military very often.
Well, I am currently aiding as guard for a friend.
Do you often wear your uniform when you do guard duty?
It's lends me a certain amount of authority, I find.
Interesting. I like that. Quite smart. Oftentimes guards tend to blend in and not exhort any sort of intimidation.
Well, I tend to find that if people know that I'm dangerous, they'll stay out of my way, which leads to less fights that I actually have to deal with.
Yes, well, as rough as the crowd is here, I don't often see many large-scale issues arise. Not one that requires any sort of violent interjection, as it were. Justina comes over and she puts a fancier tankard than you see everybody else has. It's got nice engravings around it, full of a very nice golden ale. And she also sets down a steaming plate of broccoli and salted roasted herring on the plate.
That's the two smelliest foods.
Yeah, the aroma with the spices on them, it hits your nose a lot better than the outside smells have been hitting.
Okay, that's nice. Oh, and a meal. Quite a gentleman.
You cannot have our finest ale without our finest herring.
I see. Well, I am excited to try. And speaking of the herring, it seems odd that this is the place where herring business is done. What's the secret?
What's the secret? Do you not know why so many people flock here? Not a fisherwoman, I take it.
Well, from what I understand is you have an inordinate amount of herring in this area.
Inordinate amount. Well, it would only seem inordinate to people who do not understand marine biology. You see, this is all about the patterns of behaviors of the fish.
Is he bullshitting me right now? He's so bullshitting me right now.
Roll an observation.
God damn it, I'm not good at this. I just wanted to listen to a couple of dumb boys, not be intellectually matched by this pretty man. Okay.
That's how it starts.
How many successes is that?
One.
One success?
On 4 dice is pretty good.
Would you like to push it?
You could take some of the blessed or cursed dice.
Should we double curse this conversation?
Or you could take some of the blessed. We have 4 blessed.
I think double cursing this conversation is quite fun. Let's see, I used 4 last time, so there's probably 2 left. Let's do it. It
says 6, but I don't know if that was because...
I don't know. I didn't roll it. It's,
You got another success?
You got another success.
I need to roll 2 more dice, though, because I said I was going to take them.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Okay. 2 successes?
2 successes.
Yeah, he does seem like he's lying. A lot better of a liar than the other 2, but he continues on.
I'm going to look over him in my tankard at him. Come now. Science... Sometimes there is an art to these things, something beyond what our meager sciences can predict. And I'm
Did you take a drink of the tankard?
I did.
At the same time.
I did drink and eat the food, Chase.
Did you touch the bones?
Excellent. You're mid-sentence.
Okay.
Lowered the tankard, and as you're talking, you can't help but notice, so the herring on your plate is flayed out, still kind of in the shape of a fish, right? There's no tail, there's no head. But as you look down, you hear this horrible, pained screaming, and you can see the fish segments are flopping in a wave as if the fish is flopping around on your plate. And it's screaming like a woman in pain. I need you to make me a fear test.
Oh my gosh.
What is that? That's what
you can either do it with empathy or logic, and you get an additional dice for every ally in your presence, which is currently none.
Okay, I'm rolling 3 dice. That's it. No successes. Katrina immediately stands up and just so startled. Her chair's knocked over. She does not keep her cool. Do I take a condition of some kind?
So, okay, would you like to push it first off? But we can discuss how fear works first. If you fail right now, it's a fear test 1. So you're taking 1 mental condition for failing. So if you push and fail, you're going to take 2. But if you fail, you also have to choose one of a few things. And those are, oh my goodness, let me find them. It's like you have to run away. You have to attack the nearest threat. You have to fall unconscious, or you have to just freeze in fear.
Can I attack the plate?
Yeah.
Okay, I am gonna stand up and just slap the plate onto the ground and just make a huge mess of it. The plate shatters. There's screaming fish everywhere. The tankard of nice ale is knocked over and it's broken. Like, this was a violent attack on this plate.
Okay, excellent. And you took a mental condition, right?
Yeah, I have taken 2 mental conditions so far.
Okay.
Dang.
Slamming that plate down, like, it pauses the commotion of the inn for a moment. Goes a little bit quiet as people look towards you, wondering what's going on. Zachariah stands up. How terribly clumsy of me. Please, everybody go about your business. Don't worry about it. No scene here. And then people kind of shrug and go back to their conversations, and he gives you a very surprised, confused look. I'm sorry.
What's
Is everything all right?
No, I'm sorry. I could have sworn. No. My apologies. I thought I saw something that couldn't possibly be.
I hope you didn't see a rodent or an insect, a pest of any sort.
No.
I assure you, we keep a very clean establishment here.
No, the sale must have just beleaguered me more than I was expecting. My apologies.
Yes, I do understand. Perhaps I can bring you another meal of sort, or invite you to another meal tonight. Proper, better establishment.
Better than this place? Isn't this your mother's establishment?
Well, this is an establishment in which we do business, though, given the crowds, and it can be a bit uncomfortable, I understand. Perhaps our manor would be more well-suited. You could have a personal meal with my family.
I think
Your
I would
entire
like
group would be invited, of course. I'm sure my mother may extend the same invitation if business is going well either way, but even if she doesn't, you could be invited as my personal guest.
Then I will take you up on your kind offer, and I hope that you will accept my deepest apologies.
Yes, of course. Don't worry about the plate, or the tankard, or the meal. No cost necessary. Let's say 7 o'clock tonight.
7. I will see you then.
Now, I do have some business to attend to, but Miss Katrina, it was an absolute pleasure. It is Miss?
It is.
He gives a very deep bow and smile. I'll see you at 7.
She will bow back.
Yeah,
And
he'll
let
go
him
walking
leave.
off.
She
Excellent.
trusts him not at all.
Excellent. All right, let's go ahead and let's jump to Galen and Robert. You guys have been brought into a room under the stairs. It's quite spacious despite where it's tucked away at. It's just a pretty simple office. There is some books, there is a desk, there's some comfortable chairs for you to both sit in, a lamp. She sits down and gestures to the chairs for you to sit down as well. She closes the door behind you all. So, time to do business somewhere a little bit more quiet from all the hustle and bustle.
Yes, I must say, when you invited us into the inn for business, I thought we would be doing it out with all the crowds, and it seemed a bit rambunctious for my taste. So I appreciate the separate office.
Business is a little bit too good sometimes, as
Well,
of
yes.
late. But yes, we don't invite people directly to our manor until we're a little bit more well acquainted. So
Oh, of
perhaps
course.
if things are going well, we could have you over for dinner tonight. But tell me a little bit about yourselves. Such a grand vessel. You
Yes.
already mentioned your names. What brings you out here aside from simple trade? Mr. Foscara, you said you are a man of great wealth. That's what I hear.
Well, I do not wish to blow my own horn, but I could, because I own about 1 million horns because of how much money I have. Yes, look, I understand maybe I could have sent delegates to do this trade. It is not it is really run-of-the-mill business for me, as I'm sure you know. You do not yourself go to the mainland every time you need to buy new shoes for all of your workers or whatever it is you buy for your workers. But I could not, you saw the ship, I could not pass up the opportunity for an excuse to get out onto the ocean. I've always had a soft spot for being on the sea, and to come to Wrecker Isle to have a new boat. I figured I could make this a little vacation for myself, as well as to perform the business. I do not wish to downplay the business. I hope you understand this is quite an investment for me and a good opportunity for new trade back in Sweden. But
so your fortune doesn't come up on herring. This is more of a side.
Herring is. I would not insult you to say it is a side deal. It is a new deal. I own an ironworks over by Lake Heron. I don't know if you've heard of the company I own, whose name I've forgotten. Wait,
Ironston Ironworks. Yes.
The Moreland
Society as well has come under my ownership of late. So we deal with a lot of infrastructure issues and revitalization of land. But I'm sure you know a lot about revitalization. You yourself led to the entire repopulation here of Wrecker Isle. I do not understand how you knew what would happen here when nobody else saw it, but you have yourself capitalized on such good gains as I have. You know the same business that I do. We are the same, you and I.
Yes, well, a bit of luck and a bit of science, a bit of marine study, as it were, is how I came across my fortune.
You are a scientist. Myself, I do a lot of research at the university, both in Uppsala. I have also had a stint in Copenhagen. Where did you study?
All self-taught. Learned from my father, and a bit from my late husband, I suppose.
Now, yes, your late husband. I heard he died. Oh yes, please. I was going to send my condolences for your husband, but I believe he died.
Oh, no need for
a long time ago.
He was a complete and utter asshole.
Oh, then perhaps congratulations instead.
I believe that's more in order, yes. Abusive and awful, and he belongs in the grave in which he now rests. But that's enough of personal talk. Well, I suppose not enough of personal talk. I'm curious. The places you've come to own, I know of these places. I've heard a bit about them as a business venturist myself. Weren't there chains of strange happenings happening around both the ironworks and the Moreland Society?
Well, you know what they say. Strange happenings leads to low prices. It was easy to buy the businesses when other people were scared off. But I'm sure you do not believe in such fanciful tales of strange beasts and mystical devil worshipping and
I'm not even a Christian, Mr. Frisco.
No, and as a woman of science, I'm sure you don't believe in these things when they talk of dragons and ghosts and mermaids and all these things.
Dragons and ghosts and mermaids. I don't believe in any of those things, but you know what's quite amusing that I've heard is that there is a group of people that is dedicated to such studies. I believe that the previous owners of those establishments were hiring them. Some group that calls themselves the Society.
An interesting group. I suppose they did not do their job so well if I am the one who ended up with the properties. I would assume you hire help to keep your business, not to get rid of it.
I suppose not. I'm curious, did you ever cross paths with any of them in your business dealings?
The Society, I believe I have, yes. I own land in Uppsala, and including this as landlord, I have many large properties, one of which is a castle. And I believe some people...
Gillenkreutz.
Robert, could you check, is Gillenkreutz the castle we are talking about?
I believe so. Yes.
Robert here is my secretary. He sometimes has a better mind for these details. I believe some of the people I rent this out to, they talk of ghosts and things like this. It does.
Right.
I do not know their business, but they at least bring in enough money to rent out the castle. So business, I assume, must be good.
In the interest of full disclosure, I used to work for a man who worked for that society. A man by the name of Johann Bostrom. But since
I've never heard of this crazy person.
Right. I've switched employment to, of course, a superior employer.
Yes.
Interesting. Well,
Sounds like
I
the kind of
digress.
idiot who
I
would give
just
his
thought it
name to a
was-
ghost.
Oh, that is quite amusing. I digress. I almost found it amusing. I thought about reaching out to them myself one of these times just to
Oh,
see,
interesting.
almost as a prank, I suppose. Immature of me, but I
No.
would just be curious to speak with one and see what it is that they believe in.
Did
What their
you
methods
have?
are. I can't believe
Did you
people
have
actually
your
pay
own-
for such things.
Well, see, this is why I asked. Did you have your own ghost or ghoulie here plaguing your business? You needed help from this kind of cruel, strange children.
No ghoulies plaguing this establishment. Just lots of luck and fortune. So
Yes,
if it is a ghoulie,
interesting.
I want no part of removing it.
I will say, I'm sure at some point maybe you will get a visit from people like this. A lot of people. The rumors go around that your sudden success with the herring business was the result of some kind of, well, I suppose not a curse. I suppose a blessing from these isles. So maybe some people who do not like angels will come and look into your affairs.
Blasphemous. Just blasphemous. Well,
Mm.
that's enough chat about that. So, we can work out some details on payment. You are serious about the business transactions? Did you bring any train oil?
Did I bring? No, I brought money. Have I been confused as to how?
Oh,
this deal-
you're wanting to buy herring, not sell.
Well, yes. How much? So, do you purchase herring as well as you fish it from the ocean?
I purchase herring and other fish, and I manage it through the market. Yes.
Oh, this is interesting. You see, in Sweden at the moment, pickled herring is becoming quite a delicacy. This exotic Norwegian treat that you all are so obsessed with. My plan was to buy herring and to ship it back. Train oil we have in abundance.
That
This
will
is
be
not a
better for
concern
your
of mine.
business. Those who sell herring to me, quite honestly, are fools.
I
It
would say
just
so. You
gives
have
me
so
more
much herring
control on
yourself.
the market. Yes.
Yes, this I am surprised people are doing this. I would no. You are the well. I suppose it is your son who is the as the herring baron, as they say. It is
Hmm.
because of this reputation I came to you.
A silly nickname, but yes, he does help me manage the trade. He is our expert fisherman. I started the business, but dear Zacharias, he has a true knack for it. He picked it up quite well, and these old bones just don't handle the manual labor as well as he used to. So
So he
Zacharias
is.
has taken over for me. on
Is
the
it your son
labor
himself
front.
who goes and does the fishing expeditions?
Yeah, he leads a lot of them, yes. I do some on my own still, but I try to keep to the books more these days.
I can share the feeling. It is my manservant here who does a lot more day to day than I do. Every day, another physical task I can take off my agenda is a good day.
It is a perk that comes with the job.
Yes.
No
For people like
offense.
you and I, people of science, it is just time to sit back and think.
Well, then, if you are serious about this, well, one last concern.
Please.
I have no problem with the military myself, but it's not that subtle that we attract a fair amount of unsavory subjects here. It's just the nature of the sailing business. I don't know why pirate fantasies and whatnot, but people like to get rough out at the seas. I have no trouble with it as long as they cause no damages, but a lot of these folks are made uneasy by the military. Do you think it would be possible that your security detail could potentially remove her uniform while you're here? I felt uncomfortable asking myself, but it's bad for business, I'm afraid.
Oh, I may talk to her, but for me, you see, this unease is good for business. Perhaps I should not put my power plays out so openly, but I think the presence of a military woman is I find usually helps in business dealings. And if it is a worry to have the military involved in your dealings, it's better to bring them in from the beginning than to try and keep them out. They do worm their way in anyway.
Well, agree to disagree. I feel like her uniform would be
Perhaps.
bad for this business, but who am I to boss it around? Just a simple request. Now, you do seem serious, so, Mr. Forscara, how about we do more business at my manor tonight at 7? My son Zacharias will cook a delicious meal for all of you, and we can finalize details then.
This sounds like a lovely idea. Is there anything you would recommend I see in the meantime? Anywhere on the island I should go? I was thinking of taking the ship around a nice little circle to see what's going on.
Well, you're looking to sail. I mean, you might want to mind the queues. It gets quite busy here, and getting out can be a nightmare. We can try to give you an escort out if you flag down my sons. I have 2 rooms set aside for you. Upper floor, 3rd floor. They are
Wonderful.
reserved for our esteemed guests. 2 is all I can swing right now, I'm afraid.
This is okay. Myself and Robert, we will share a room. I'm sure Katrina can take another one. And there is nobody else here that we would need to give a room to. And so this is fine.
Excellent. Well, aside from a fairly nice room, I'm afraid that we have not many sights for you here on Wrecker Isle. If you're looking for a short journey, Calf Isle has some lovely sights to see, a nice sailing trip over there. I would avoid Graveyard Isle. It can get rather stormy over there, and the rocks are a bit treacherous. Hence why they probably named it Graveyard Isle.
Oh, yes, I was wondering as I saw the map, it seemed a disheartening name for a nearby island.
Yes, I personally avoid that unless the herring are particularly biting in that direction.
Ah, of course. Well, this is good to know. Thank you.
Yes, she stands up and she reaches out a hand to shake your hand. As she reaches out a hand, you can catch, she's already wearing kind of short sleeves. Sleeve pulls back, you can catch that scorpion skull tattoo on her shoulder that you saw in the photo.
You know what? Why not? Oh, do you mind? I know you asked many questions about my past and the people I have associated with. I hope it is not too impertinent to ask a similar question. There has been I would not call them an organized group, but at a few of my purchases, you say they were plagued by the supernatural, but I found occasionally they were plagued by something a lot more tangible. A group of people who have, at one point I had to blow some of them up with a cannon. It was a whole big thing. Do not worry about this. But I believe they had a marking on some of their skin. And I do not wish to impose, but I should know more about the people I am doing business with. I believe it is the same marking you have yourself, this skull and scorpion.
Oh.
I do not wish to say that you are associated. A businesswoman like yourself, I'm sure, has no connection to ruffians on the mainland, but may I ask, where did you get this tattoo?
Mr. Forscara, I hope this does not sour business. I must be honest, I was indirectly associated with them through my earlier spoken of asshole of a husband.
Ah, yes, this is
I was young and in love, and they were his group of friends that all shared that same mark. Some sort of cult, if you ask me, once I got to know them more. It made me uneasy, so I tried to stray far away from it, but he was heavily involved in this group. I don't know what he got around to there. I first thought it was a fair, but then it seemed like something a bit more unsettling. Strange chanting and prayers and whatnot.
Yes.
So I wish I could have this removed, but also it's a reminder of the past.
Sometimes we are left with reminders of past mistakes in love. You can ask many of my old pets, they are around for the same reason.
I may have some contacts that can maybe give you a lead on that if it's something you wish to pursue, but it could be a dangerous group. I would maybe advise against it.
Thank you for the advice, but I would appreciate the contacts. If you can give them to my man here, he will take them down.
I'll look into it and give you some information at dinner if I can turn any.
Perhaps tonight, yes, of course.
Very good. Well, she gives a nod. I believe that concludes business for now. I have a lot more dealings to get around to, so I'm sorry to cut it short, but please make yourself comfortable. I'll see you at my manor tonight at 7. Just knock. Somebody will answer the door for you.
I will see you then. Thank you. It was a pleasure doing business.
She smiles and nods, opens the door, and gestures for you to leave. And then, if you do so, she'll close the door behind you, and you guys can see Katrina sitting towards the back of the inn, I imagine.
Yeah, and she's pretty pale. Looks like she's had a bit of a fright. Her hands, if you notice, are shaking a little.
Oh, Katrina, are you Are you okay? Please, we have a room now. If you'd like to come up, we can talk things through. I would like to know what you discovered while you were here.
I think that would be wise.
Yes, let us. Robert, can you get us keys to the room from whoever is
Yes.
running the floor down here?
Of course, I'm on it. And Robert will
Excellent.
go over. I don't know if there's like a specific desk I need to go to, or if I just look for Justina.
Yeah, Justina seems to kind of be the only employee that seems to be handling things at the moment.
Okay,
Oh, well.
then I'll go over to her and say, excuse me, miss.
What is it? What do you want? I'm Justina. Looking for room keys, are you?
Perfect.
Yes, room keys.
Oh!
Abella.
Sorry, strange bird mimicking my voice.
Damn. I'm sorry, he gets that way sometimes. Quiet, Polly.
Matt is just so committed to the yes and that he's like, all right, cool. Bill's
Yeah.
now Justina. I'm rolling with this.
Oh man.
Need a room key?
Yes, a few, but I was wondering if there was any chance. It seems that my companion is feeling a bit ill, so if you could bring something soothing up, maybe some water, some like carbonated beverage of some sort, if that exists.
I did just bring her some food and beverage, and she didn't seem too keen on it.
Right.
I can try to bring her some water.
Yes, that would be much appreciated. Thank you very much.
I'm sorry, have we met?
I was thinking that too, but
Do you come around here often?
not really. Not really.
I see a lot of faces, but
Yeah.
anyways, you caught my eye earlier, and I just thought that I'd seen you somewhere before. Sorry, don't mean to
No
be
worries. I thought that I had seen you too, but
Hmm.
if you could bring the water up to those rooms, that would be
Yes,
great.
of course.
And I'll
Up to the
see
rooms.
you
Oh,
then.
here's the keys. You're the ones that were here with the Godmother, yes?
Yes. Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah, she gives you 2 keys.
Great.
3rd floor, first on your right and left.
Much appreciated. I'll see you with those waters later.
Mm.
And
She nods and then
essentially,
goes back to bustling.
my goal is to be able to talk with her separated from the crowds
Nice, I like it.
upstairs. But my lord, I've got the keys. Shall we? 3rd floor.
Yes, let's debrief for a second here. And I think we can go up to the rooms,
Yeah.
Yeah.
get into one, and I mean
Katrina-
we can do it in character, but also, what did we figure out? What have we learned from this?
Such a good question. So obviously he was lying about this being a science. There is something else behind it. We saw the herring flop about and scream. Was it screaming words, Chase?
No, just like a high-pitched
Just like a
feminine
high-pitched...
scream in pain. Yeah.
Sure. Okay. I don't know if I might pick that up, but I tried to mimic it as best as I could.
It was so high. It
We
didn't.
know mermaids can turn into aquatic creatures.
Oh my
True.
lord.
But also they can like control and bring. So I'm
That's true.
wondering if. So I think our original thought was there was some kind of mermaid connection, or like
Mhm.
I think the idea of like offered her husband as a sacrifice to a mermaid to be like, get me some fish. But I wonder if now like they've got the mermaid captive against their will or something. Like they've got a mermaid in a bathtub at the bottom of their house
Yeah.
who is consistently like using magic to keep herring around.
Oh, and like
Um,
and she controlled the herring on the plate as like a
as
cry
like
for
a hey,
help.
help
cry
me,
for
right?
help.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like
That's
or
interesting.
something, or maybe all the herring is effectively a cry for help, but only because we're Thursday's children can we see that. Everyone else is just like, this is herring, but we can see the magic of like,
Mhm.
don't eat me,
Right.
please don't eat me. So
Yeah.
like this is so part of what I was hoping to get out of asking her what to see around the Isle was that she would tell me not to see something. She did, which was
Yeah.
not go to Graveyard Isle. I don't know if that's relevant because my plan was maybe we go wherever she tells us not to go because
That's
that's
so smart.
possibly-
Well,
where they
Orvar
are
is
hiding.
Orvar lives on Graveyard Island,
Mhm.
Ooh,
uh,
fun.
and
Oh.
he told Constance to go visit him there, and he would tell her more about his wild
That's fun
theories.
because this to me is like a good we've got someone that we want to talk to who says go to Graveyard Island, and someone who I think might be trying to keep us away from secrets, telling us please don't go to Graveyard Island.
Yeah.
So maybe we go to Graveyard
I think
Island.
that's on the list for sure.
What else do we know?
I think there's a hidden mermaid.
Do we believe that she's not in the cult thing currently, or do we think they still are?
She was so in the know about every single location. She absolutely is still a part of the cult.
That's true.
It is so sus that she's all like, oh, you mean all these locations that's happened in the last few months? But I've not had contact with the cult since my husband died. It was all him.
She clearly knows that we are people from the society come here to investigate. It'd be weird to bring it up otherwise.
Yeah, agreed.
I wonder. I also think that the thing that we vaguely thought was true earlier has been a bit more proven, that possibly Zacharias is a part mermaid child. Both because the older brothers hated the water when they were younger. They didn't like swimming and they got bit by a crab and they weren't. That's not a mermaid. They would be always in the water. They'd be born and be like, "Get me into a pool of water, Mom, chuck me in the bath now." So,
and they would know the crab's real name besides calling it Pinchy.
Yeah, and it wouldn't pinch them. It would be like, "I'm going to grab you," and they say, "No, crab, do not grab me. Work with me. We shall rule the seas together." So, they're not mermaids, but Zacharias is, because he's now the fisher person. He's taken over the fishing. Maybe the other mermaids stopped giving them fish. And they're like, "Well, it doesn't matter. I got your kid now, idiot. He can summon fish."
Chase.
Yes.
We know that there's triplets, but we've only seen 2 of them, right?
You know that there's Pete, Pace, Paul, and Zacharias. You have not seen Paul yet.
So Paul could have been sacrificed to keep the fish around.
Well, we haven't heard of Paul's not being around, though, specifically.
But we haven't seen him.
Has anyone ever seen all 3 brothers at once?
Yes. There's not another piece of art for him. They're like, oh, he looks the same. He's missing the same teeth. I just feel like that's sus.
It's the same. That's a secret. Now, one thing that's interesting is I would have thought, okay, Priest is dead. If he'd gone missing, I'd be like, they're doing consistent human sacrifice. But they found his body washed up on a beach. And you figure if you're people who are sacrificing people to a mer person to be like, here's a sacrifice, and you kill a priest, you'd probably sacrifice the priest. Like you'd kill him by sacrifice rather than, unless
maybe the mermaids rejected it.
Yeah, and the mermaid was like, "Nah, get out of here, kid." And
you didn't care
threw
about
him onto the beach. But he had a gun wound. He had a bullet wound in his head.
Well,
so
the human sacrifice, I thought that it was an object that meant something, or a human sacrifice also.
Oh, you don't have to care about the person?
I don't think the person matters.
Exactly, but that's why I'm shocked that if that's what they were doing, they didn't sacrifice the priest. Because
maybe he just got too close to whatever.
Yeah, maybe he found the mermaid and they were like, "Pow!" Shot him in the side of the head with his own gun, or someone else's gun. I don't think we're doing.
I want to say, we should also not discount that the priest could have some nefarious something or other happening.
The priest that summoned us, or the priest who died? Okay,
yeah.
Priest who summoned us.
He just, I just get a sussy vibe off of him.
I think he's just a weirdo. I don't think
he's
an
weird?
evil weirdo. I don't think he's
the red herring.
Just,
yeah,
the red herring of this story. Okay, I can get behind that. Chase is tricksy like this. Chase, how does it feel to have us just sit here and hash out your mystery?
Theory craft.
It's so fun. I love
it.
Excellent. Okay. Do you guys have more to discuss?
I don't know. Do we have anything?
What do you think in the chat? Hey, chat, what do you think? Put some theories in
help
the
us
chat.
out.
One other thing this isn't help necessarily adding to the case, but just something that we might consider is if the Godmother thinks you guys are with the society, that might mean she might not know Constance yet. So Constance might be the only person at the moment who is not under their microscope.
You're not part
their
of the
umbrella
visit
of
from the
suspicion.
society.
Yeah.
I think that's
so. If
part
there
of
are
the big
things
reason
that are weird that need to, anyway, I don't know how that will come into play. But if we need an under the radar thing, then I feel like that we've got those are the angles we've got.
I think the two things to kind of look into now, if I was going to like investigate two things, would be one, going to Graveyard Isle purely because you have the double recommendation and non-recommendation. That makes it very tempting.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd be interested in like talking to the people who are on the fishing cruise to see if there's anything weird about the manner in which they fish, right? Like if Zacharias is like, yeah, he goes out into the water and he drops a big wrapped up carpet package into the sea and it's struggling as it falls, probably some bait or something, and then fish magically appear. I'd be like, okay, cool, what's going on? Like, you know, or like if he does something weird, or like he goes into his cabin in secret and he comes out and it's like, I know where to go. Let us travel to record, you know, like something about that. Or whether it's just like, no, he just goes out, fishes, whatevs. But there might be something there that'll give us some hints as to maybe he has to consult with a mermaid, or maybe he does some magic because he is a mermaid, or blah, 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 blah. So that might be something good for Constance to do as well.
To go out with a fishing crew?
Yeah, to get in with the fishing crews and be like...
Yeah. Is Frida's ship a fishing ship? Or are they dealing in herring also, Chase?
Yeah. Well, no.
Okay.
She is dealing in train oil.
Oh,
yeah, I think
okay.
she's I don't know if she... But yeah, we need people who are part of Zacharias' fishing expedition.
Well, okay, so the Amundsons both fish and buy fish to deal.
Yeah.
That's the operation. Okay. Got it.
You guys have probably already dug up their central business is herring, but they've kind of become their herring monopoly is so vast that they've become kind of just like a trading central hub. And train oil is like their second new big thing that they're starting.
So does Zacharias still go fishing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah.
Did you guys all see Justin's theory in chat?
It's very devious.
Oh,
the priest that summoned everyone to solve the mystery might have set everything up by bringing sacrifices to the island, like we're the sacrifices.
That's
clever.
Interesting. Yeah.
Goodness.
I
gotta help another bad guy.
Actually distraught. I think he just wants to find out what happened to his friend.
Mm-hmm.
I think if he had set us up, he wouldn't have admitted that he had a girlfriend.
You know what? That's fair.
I don't know why
Wouldn't
those
have
things
been
are so...
vulnerable.
Yeah, exactly, right? He would have been like playing the part of a priest more. He'd be like, no, I have no girlfriend other than the Virgin Mary, to whom I devote myself. Oh, there is no love like my love for the holy dove. Like he's just like, you know, he'd be like that, right? So I don't think he's setting us up. I think he's just a bad priest and a bad friend.
Oh, okay. This guy's a weirdo, but I feel like he's had a rough go of it. That feels pretty harsh.
Guess we'll find out. We'll find out.
Good theories. Love to talk. All right, so we're going to go back over to Constance, but before we do, it feels like a good lull for our break. So we're going to step away. We're going to take a quick little rest. We'll be back in like 10 to 15 minutes. So please, everybody, stick around. We'd love to see you when we come back, and we'll see you guys in just a few. All right, welcome back, everybody. Thanks for letting us take a little break, get some rest, recoup. We are back with Vaesen, and we are going to jump right back over to Constance. All right, Constance, you spent we decided romantic, intimate evening with Frida, yes?
Yes.
Excellent. All right, so we're just going to skip to the next morning. When you are up on the ship, Frida will no longer be beside you. She will have cooked you a personal meal. And she will bring it to you
There's a lot of romantic cooking going on this session.
There's lots of good old romantic cooking. I mean, romantic might be a bold statement for what she's bringing. It's pretty simple. It is basically some gruel with a little bit of extra spices on top. And then
it screaming at me?
Not yet.
Okay, well, that seems like an upgrade then from the food we've seen so far.
So yeah, it's basically just bland tan mush. Looks like oatmeal, though not really. Some drizzled spice on top, and the delicacy, there's a sliced apple beside it.
Ooh.
She just brings it to you on a little wooden tray.
That's not bad. well, the gruel is kind of whatever, but the apple, that's nice. I thought you were gonna say herring.
Nah, no,
Breakfast
no
herring.
herring here. Oh man, that sounds awful. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, she's fully back in her captain's attire. You can hear the crowd hustling and bustling out on the ship. It's not even moving, but she's having people clean. You hear her voice shouting commands before she walks in the door. Gives you a smile, kicks the door behind her. Well, good morning.
Ah, good morning. I didn't mean to sleep so late.
It's actually quite early. You didn't. I just have to get things going.
Oh, well, thank you so much. This is so kind of you.
Say the same for you. Hope the sleeping arrangements were comfortable enough.
I should say so.
Romantic evening. If it was one night later, could have been under the new moon. There's some legends under that, you know. Romance under the new moon.
I don't think I'm familiar with that one.
Always wanted to kick it off my bucket list, but one day too early.
Well, perhaps we can revisit plans tonight and see what the new moon brings us.
Thank God you saw where I was going with that. Anyway, here's a meal for the day. I have some business to attend to this morning. You're not a captive here or anything. I don't know if you need a guide, but anything that you need me to help you with before I go getting about things?
Chase, real quick, she said that today she's going to wasn't she gonna negotiate with the Godmother or something, or Zacharias?
She has dinner with Zacharias tonight at 6.
Oh, okay.
And you're
Wow.
invited. She
Okay,
got
that's
some
right,
of her
that's right.
crew invited.
Yes,
so, yeah.
yes. Okay. Yes, well, thanks to your excellent tour last night, I think I can find my way around the vast Wrecker Isle and all of its wonders it has to offer. I suppose I can meet you for dinner tonight?
Yeah, that sounds great. Why don't we meet back on the dock a bit prior? I'll talk to you about some courtesies and whatnot with the Herring Baron.
Excellent. Yes.
He acts like a real charmer, but he's actually an asshole.
Noted.
Oh.
That's always good to know.
Bit of a temper on him if you rub him the wrong way.
I'll try to resist the temptation. I do enjoy getting under people's skins.
Don't we all? Well, if you're going to be traveling around on Wrecker Isle, just you said that you're packing a firearm. Just be safe. It's a rowdy crowd out there.
Oh, worried about me already. And I'll just I'll pat her cheek.
I'll
see you later tonight.
Yeah, you can handle yourself. At the dock, 5 o'clock.
All right.
That
Good
she'll-
luck with
she'll
your
leave
business.
The food. Won't need it. And she'll go striding out, smirking.
All right.
What are you doing, Constance? Are you eating the food?
Don't ask me that.
I knew that was coming. I knew that was coming.
Yeah, I'll eat the food.
Excellent. Okay. Yeah. What are you up to this morning after food is consumed?
I think I will. I guess this morning I'll probably try and check in with the ship, the pirate, our ship.
Okay.
Mostly just to see where you guys have gone, which I imagine I will then learn you guys went to the inn and are, doing business, etc. All the stuff that has transpired up to this point.
Yeah, you'll see that the ship is docked. It's not subtle. It is trumping most of the ships that are already there. And yeah, I mean, it would be, I don't know if you'd find out exactly what they've done, but you could probably imagine that they've gone to the inn.
Okay. Actually,
or you could board, I guess, their ship and get an update from the Wombat.
or any
Oscar,
other
any of them.
crew,
Yeah.
and I'm not gonna
Yes.
go talk to Oscar. That's for sure.
Okay.
No, yeah, I'll get a quick update. Are there any ships, or I want to try and ask around, I guess kind of anyone around who, like, how far Graveyard Isle is, like how long that trip takes, if there's any fishing out there right now, like is anyone going out there at the moment?
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and roll me and investigate?
Excellent. I'm good at that. Okay, just have to make sure I know all of the things I have. Okay. Investigate. I don't think any of my items will be helpful here. That's all right.
Take a picture of people.
Or a magnifying glass up to them.
Are you leaving soon?
2 successes.
2 successes. Okay, yeah, you do find a fishing vessel that is going to be heading out toward Graveyard Isle today in like a few hours.
Do I know how long that trip is, or I guess when they'll be back?
They plan on being back around 7.
And Orvar told me to visit him today,
Whenever.
right? Or he didn't specify. He just was
Yeah.
like, whatever. Okay.
Just said bring booze.
Oh man. What do I do? Could I maybe try and negotiate? Could I try and convince them to come back earlier?
Yeah, roll me manipulate.
Okay.
Oh.
I don't know, we're on a pretty tight schedule.
I promise you that whatever business you've got going out there, my employer can pay you more.
I don't know about that. I also don't know why we're from Jersey or something.
They're all from all over.
World travelers, these sailors.
Okay, I'll roll manipulation, and then I'll talk accordingly. Okay.
I'd also let you roll Galen's resources
True, I have them.
if you want to name drop him.
Well, I don't actually, because I don't
Okay.
really want word to get out that I'm
That's
with
totally
them.
fair.
Yeah,
It was just an option.
yeah. So I'm gonna not do that. Actually, I did have a question, Chase.
Mhm.
With my gear, so like fine wines, for example, it says fine wines, but the amount obviously isn't like specified. I know it's kind of narrative. Like, do I get that gear for the whole thing, or because I like poured some for, Orvar, and like gave
It's
some
up to my
so-and-so.
discretion.
Okay. Do I have any? Is that anything?
I don't
Can I do
know.
anything with that?
Like, are you just gonna give him like a bottle of wine?
Oh, actually, no, never mind. I'm just gonna
Shoot them. I have a gun. I don't need one.
Here's my manipulation. Okay, here's my angle. I've heard that the Godmother and the Baron, they've been driving up prices. They're creating quite the racket here. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
Don't you want an operation perhaps a bit more lucrative?
What are you getting at?
Well, I can't reveal all the details, but if you get me back here by 6 o'clock, or no, 5:30, then it will go much better for you. I promise. All right, here I go.
Mystery,
I roll.
eh?
That's 1 success.
Yeah, right. You intrigued me.
Excellent.
Yeah, fine. We'll be
It's a
back
deal,
by.
then.
I can cut a couple hours off.
It will be well worth your while, I promise.
Yeah, we'll see about that, but buyer's risk. Not that
All
I'm
right.
buying nothing.
Cool, then I guess I'm going to Graveyard Isle for the day.
Yeah, all right. So you're gonna. So that's in a couple hours that they leave.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
In that case, geez, there's just so many locations to choose from.
I know, right?
I'm actually gonna go to the. I want to go to the warehouse. We
Okay.
haven't really. I'm presumably going to go to the residence tonight. I've been to the inn. I haven't really looked at the warehouse yet, so I just want to kind of go and get a feel for. I don't know, just if there's anything weird there. I'll be looking for clues and things around there.
Yeah. So are you just like approaching the main entrance of the warehouse here?
I guess, is this really busy? Because like, is this where a lot of the business is done, or?
I mean, there's like people hustling and bustling from the dock down to the inn, but right out front of the warehouse, no, it's not very busy. The main entrance seems to be right here on the front, and that is quite open to a bustling crowd public eye. As you approach it or just get a good look at it, you can see there's a sign on the front of it that says employees only.
Okay. I'm gonna sit and watch for a little bit and just see if the employees seem to have any kind of like, well, are there employees like besides the family and stuff? Like, does it seem like there are employees at the site right now?
No, not that you can see.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll just go in.
Okay, so you're gonna just go try to open the door?
Oh, the door is not open. Yeah, sure.
Oh, yeah, the door's locked.
Thanks, Chase. That was really a fun adventure.
You're welcome. We did it.
Dang. I don't think I have any lock picks because I got those for Robert.
You can try to finagle something. You can always roll a stealth.
That I'm not good at.
Done. Shoot the locks.
But there are people around, right? There are a bunch of people.
There are people around. So basically, this lock would take one success to not get seen, and then any additional successes to whatever the lock requires.
I want to take a lap around the building then. I want to see if there's any other ways in or out, or if there's anything that just kind of piques my interest around here, around the building.
Yeah, as you go around, there's another entrance over here. There are windows all along, but they're all boarded up, so you cannot see in. They look like they have some kind of cloth draped behind them too, so if you like try to peek through a crack, it's just something covering it. Awful smell wafting through. And there's another door over here that also says employees only. This one is less public. Like, you can still see the hustle and bustle going to the inn, but you have some covers of like trees, and there's not really anybody around over here at this door.
Okay, I'll go ahead and try it.
Okay, excellent. Go ahead and first off, you feel the amulet. It's in your pocket.
Jeez, I was just gonna ask about the amulet. You read my mind.
Yeah,
you are becoming my magic amulet. This is breaking the fourth wall too much.
Yeah, no,
seeping into the real life.
It feels warm. It feels like it wants you to tag it in.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. So yeah, let's do it. There's no one around. She double checks that there's not anyone immediately nearby that she could explode on accident.
Excellent. All right, yeah, I would like you to make a magic roll of 2. And then if you, I think you prepared your advantage with magic, correct?
I did.
If you want, you can use it, but you only get it once for this mystery, so it's up to you.
Sure, why not? And the advantage, I'm sorry, gives me 2 extra dice. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then I will just. Okay, I'm gonna roll. I'm just gonna roll agility, so that we can see the individual dice. But I'll roll my 4.
Yeah, sounds good.
1 success.
All right, 1 success. So, I mean, what were your preparations again for this amulet? Like, how does that advantage come into play with making this work?
She's on the trip, since she was alone, she kind of just practiced. Like, she basically broke it down into a science to figure out, like, okay, if I interact with it in this way, it feels this way, and here's kind of how to tap into it, and here's how long my eyes look weird after I use the magic, and like based on the amount of juice I pour into it. That just kind of experimentation, basically, in small little bursts. She was trying to approach it more carefully since the last time she just sort of went for it. She burned a bunch of her friends. So she feels like, okay, this is a small thing. There's no one around. I think I can do this. And she gives it a go.
Excellent. And yeah, as you give it a go, you feel this connection with this amulet. You can feel this familiar burning to your eyes, just like a gentle burn. But you know your eyes are going to be changing color when you do this. You've seen it happen before. And as you close your eyes and concentrate, you take a deep breath, you feel that connection strengthen. And you feel like you should reach for the door. When you go to touch the handle, you feel like you almost lose your breath out of your chest for a moment. It makes you gasp. And as you open your eyes, you're on the other side of the door.
Cool. This is amazing.
And the most notable thing when you're on the other side of the door is the stench is overbearing. It is awful. I need you to make me a force test.
Oh, gosh. Okay. This is not going to go well. We have any? I'll use 2 blessed dice. 1 success.
Excellent. You're able to toughen it up and push through. So other side of this door, there are just shelves and shelves filled with barrels with overflowing fish. You can see there are oil stains all over the floor. You can see some barrels are overflowing with oil, some dripping down with kind of a shimmer. Train oil is mixing in with that stench as well. And it's actually very dark in here. But something that you notice, you feel like you can see in the dark maybe better than you should be able to. There's little tiny cracks of sunlight that are seeping in from behind cloths put over the boarded windows, but there's no light source in here, and you're still able to see fairly decently.
Oh, can I fill in my Ember Eyes talent yet, Chase, with what it does?
Not yet.
Dang it. Okay. Maybe I'm gonna maybe see better in
I guess
the
you can't.
dark?
So
question mark.
This is one thing you can add to it. When you use the amulet for the next hour, you can see in the dark.
Okay.
I guess that's probably well established since you've been practicing with it and whatnot. And now that you really get a test of it, you notice that's what's been happening.
Cool. Okay. Awesome. How convenient. All right. Then I don't need my hurricane lamp. I will just go looking around.
Excellent. So why don't you go ahead and give me a vigilance roll?
Vigilance. Interesting. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. Make sure.
Well, I guess I'll let you do a vigilance, or if you want to spend a while in here, you can do like a thorough investigation. Like, are you trying to do like a quick look around, or are you trying to like poke around for quite a bit?
I'll poke around for basically as long as I'm allowed, or as long as I'm undetected and stuff. Because I have a couple hours. Constance isn't quite 100% committed to trying to get a job at the inn, especially since on job day 1 she'll need to leave to go to Graveyard Isle in a couple hours. So she's gonna just kind of kill time basically until then.
All right, go ahead and roll me a investigation then.
Okay, I am using my magnifying glass.
Much more effective when you're able to see in the dark. As you pull the magnifying glass up, you can see the reflection of your glowing eye through it.
I give myself a little wink. I'm kind of into this. I'm vibing right now. 2 successes.
Man, you are just rolling hot on this. Okay. As you're poking along this warehouse, it is pretty much just the same thing. There's nothing terribly interesting through most of it. There is just...
Sorry, can I use I have 6th sense, Chase. I can use extra successes to learn if Vaesen have been in the area.
You do have an extra success.
I want to use it that way. I want to learn if there have been Vaesen,
that mermaid,
or get vague impressions of what kind of Vaesen it is and find out if magic has been used.
Okay, excellent. So as you're poking around here, lots of barrels of fish, lots of oil. As you're looking around with your sixth sense, you feel drawn to kind of a pool in the center of the warehouse of water that's just maybe dripped down from the ceiling, condensation. And as you get close to it, you see little droplets of water levitating over it, kind of unnaturally. It feels almost drawn to you as you walk by. And as you take a breath, you can smell salty, clean water. And you feel like you can hear a very faint humming, a beautiful humming.
I immediately cover my ears.
Okay. You do get an impression that a Vaesen has been here and magic has been used here.
Okay.
And as you are looking at that pool, you have seen like little pools of oil slicks and stuff around the floor. There is a pool, or it looks more like a dried, like liquid used to be against a wall back in the corner of the warehouse. It draws your eye kind of near that pool of condensation. Some kind of dark brownish stain on the middle of the floor. And in the middle of that stain, you see a little crucifix bead necklace.
Oh, okay. So hang on, let me summarize this back to you so I make sure I got it right. So in like the middle-ish of the warehouse, there's a pool of water that smells like clean ocean water.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like some of the drops are sort of like floating, like kind of, okay. And I hear a slight humming or something.
Yeah, and when you plug your ears, the droplets gently splash back down into the pool. It's not a deep pool, it's just like a little, like shallow gathering of condensation.
Okay. And then a little ways removed from that, there is a dark, like probably blood stain on the ground with the prayer beads in the middle of it.
And you could do a medicine to know what kind of stain it is.
Okay, I'll do a medicine. I feel like Constance has seen murder before.
If you want to confirm.
Yeah, that's true. She's a thorough investigator. I guess she'll try medicine. That's not exactly what I'm good at, but try it. Okay. Not positive. Can't confirm on that. No successes.
Not sure. You can have your own opinion on it, but you can't confirm it.
Yeah. My opinion is that it's blood from the murdered priest. Are the prayer beads arranged in any such way, or it doesn't seem like dropped?
It looks like a necklace that like a priest would wear. Just a bead necklace with a crucifix at the end.
But like it doesn't seem like laid out on the ground intentionally or with intent. Okay.
Looks like it was maybe just dropped there.
Got it.
Corey.
And along with all, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. You know that Katrina brought along chemical equipment where you could determine cause of death with investigation. If you wanted to have nabbed that from the ship before you came over here. But I don't know if that's too retconny.
Did Katrina leave it on the ship?
Yeah, she's not carrying chemical equipment with her.
I feel I do love it, but I think
if you feel good about it, I'll let you just do it. If you don't feel good about it, I'll let you take a blessing dice to say you did.
Oh. Okay, I don't feel good about it. Yeah, because I was gonna say I don't know that Constance wouldn't have guessed that the priest was killed in the warehouse. So.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, sure.
For a blessing dice, she just got a little hunch like, yeah,
she's like, yeah, why
sitting
not?
Out.
Katrina's not gonna use this. You know, like it's gonna be Galen or me.
Yeah.
So yeah, she'll take it. Okay. So
one blessing dice production.
What do I use investigate. I can use investigation to
use investigation, yeah, to determine cause of death.
So okay, so I could test the blood basically.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Chase, may I do that?
Uh-huh.
How many bonus dice does it give, Em? Or does it just let me switch the attribute? It
says bonus 1.
Okay, cool. 1 success.
Oh.
1 success. All right.
Do I need to push for more or okay?
You're good. So yeah, with this little chemical testing kit and just getting a better look around, it is indeed human blood. You're able to confirm that. And as you're looking at it closer, something that you notice is that
There is no splatter as if some sort of assault happened here. It looks pooled, and you can actually see blood running down the side of one of the herring barrels nearby, as if maybe the corpse was stored in a barrel at one point. Though it doesn't look like there's anything in the herring barrel anymore.
Jeez, how grisly. Okay. Interesting. If I poke, was there anything that I can use to poke the puddle?
Yeah, there's like
All right.
there's
I want like a
broken
I know there's not
barrel
a stick, yeah,
pieces
but
and
a
stuff
piece of
nearby,
broken
yeah.
barrel. Yeah, I
Mhm.
just want to basically I'm wanting to make sure, Chase, that it's not a magic portal that looks that's deeper than it looks. That
Yeah,
kind
as
of
you
thing.
as you poke it, nothing happens. It just looks like a pool of water. It doesn't smell special anymore. You don't hear humming anymore. But you definitely got a weird impression of it at first.
I will take like a half step away and then just like experimentally like uncover my ears briefly to see if it resumes its magicy-ness.
As you uncover your ears, you hear a door slam from across the way to the warehouse. And you hear footsteps coming your way.
Okay, well, Constance is not going to give up. Before she dashes away to hide, she is going to look at the puddle. Does it look magic anymore?
No, it does not.
Okay, all right. Then
Jump in
she's
the
gonna...
blood barrel. Blood
Gross.
barrel. Jump in the blood barrel.
Jump in the blood barrel.
Jump in the blood barrel.
You should definitely get in the blood
Yeah.
barrel.
I
you
guess that's
trying to
probably
hide?
probably.
So there's not a lot of great places to hide here. So you will be rolling
Except
flat
for the
stealth.
blood barrel.
If you want to hide in the blood barrel, I will give you 2 extra dice on your stealth.
It's a human-sized
Oh.
barrel, you know that.
Okay, hang on. Let me
Get
lay
inside
out
the
my thinking
barrel.
really quick. I can hide and hide in the blood barrel, or
Yep.
I have the amulet, you guys. I could try and sort of like get like, hey, I'm in with you guys, you know, like I'm on your side.
Oh, because
kind of
the
thing.
amulet
Like,
is a sign of like the
it's
cult.
the scorpion and skull. Yeah. So like I'm wondering if maybe I just talk my way through. All right, I'm gonna go for the thing that Constance is better at, because
Okay, that
that's
makes
what
sense.
that would be what she's more practiced at. So, and she's also not really interested in getting
In the
her-
blood barrel?
Yeah, in a bloody barrel. She feels like there's something maybe sacrilegious about that. Even for her, a not very devoted Christian, she feels a little bad. Could I swipe the prayer beads though really fast before who like?
Yeah,
and then
you have a minute. You hear somebody walking towards you. It's heavy booted footsteps walking towards you, and you hear a masculine voice humming a tune that sounds very similar to what you just heard from that pool.
Oh. Okay, here's what I'm going to try to do. I want to snatch the prayer beads, and then I want to like try my best and take like a route circuitous away from the puddle and the blood. And like basically I want to try, when I run into this guy, I want to run into him from a direction that does not make him think I was just over at the pool and the blood. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
That is going to require a stealth skill.
Okay, I'll still try it, but we'll, if not, you know, it is what it is. I have a free push,
Cursed dice?
and we have dice to use. Okay, I'll start with pushing. All right, I'll roll 2 cursed dice, Matt.
Yes!
I'll roll 3 cursed dice
Let's
because
go.
this is happening.
Yeah, I mean there was a redeem of a curse.
Oh wait,
dice,
I
so
only
might
rolled
as well,
1. I meant
right?
to roll 3. So
Oh,
Nice!
2
The very cursed success.
It's meant to be.
All right, cursed
Okay.
successes. All right, you very deftly are able to kind of match the pattern of whatever this figure is walking, to slip through a couple of the shelves very quietly and sneak around to where you're going to confront him at an angle that looks like you're coming from somewhere else, right?
yeah.
But as you are turning the last corner to see, to meet pass with this person, you hear horrible screaming from all around you, as if it's a village of burning people screaming in pain. And you see all of the herrings in the barrels start to flip, and just the barrels start to shake, and you see some of the herring heads fall off in front of you, and they look up at you with human-like looking eyes of pain, and the mouths agape screaming. You need to make me a fear roll.
Okay. I feel like as far as the herring scares go tonight, Constance got the worst one.
Well, you had so many more herring around you to make it horrific.
Way more horrific.
So
okay,
if this is Zacharias, I think we have a really good clue.
But yeah, that's true.
But he's a fish man.
And he's a fish man.
Okay, I'm gonna use logic, and here we go.
Oh,
That's so
I have
many
a free
fails.
push. I have a free push.
Okay.
I'm gonna use
just
it.
die.
Use it.
At first, I'm
Jesus.
gonna use 2 blessed dice because I feel like we're getting down to the end here. Oh,
I
a
need those. I
success.
need those for making extra money. For
One
the deal.
success.
That's
Wait, no.
not a success.
Oh,
That was
just
a
kidding.
5
That's a
and
5.
1.
That's a 5. That's a 5. Okay. Now I will push. I will push with the 6 dice. So first the regular one.
That's
Don't
2 successes.
even need the. Oh, I guess I might as well roll.
Yeah, roll
the-
2 more to see if you get
yeah.
another one.
See.
Okay.
That was
2
a fear
successes.
test 2. You actually needed 2 successes.
Oh,
All right.
thank
you,
goodness.
Wombat Wolf. You guys saved my bacon, my herring. Okay.
All right. You are able to get a grip on yourself, and when you blink, you realize that none of that's actually happening. The fish are all calm. There's no fish heads in front of you.
I picture Galen bursting into flame in front of me as my grounding memory for knowing that like I'm having a hallucination. Like I've had these before. This doesn't actually happen.
Oh, you're not picturing the
Okay.
time that you actually set Galen on fire and he did burst into flames in front of you? That also happened in real
Savage.
life.
She
No,
knows the difference
no.
between real and fake.
Yeah. This is obviously a hallucination.
Awesome. Okay, yeah, you keep it together, and you're just gonna step out and
If
confront
it
the figure?
seems like he's coming my direction, then yeah, I'll sort of act like I'm looking
Currently, you've been very
around.
quiet. And,
like I maybe could just slip out of here.
yeah, I mean, you hear the booted figures stop, keep humming.
I do want to see who it is, though.
You hear a masculine voice. Hello? Pete? Pace?
Didn't even ask about the third brother.
That's
And then you
Saying.
you
Didn't
hear
even
the humming
ask
resume.
about the third brother.
okay. I'm not gonna spoil my own cover. My talking my way out of it was mostly if he found me. So I think I'll just kind of try to stay out of his way and like I want to listen to what he's doing, and also like if I can steal a glance, through like the shelves or the barrels or something to see.
Give me
who
a
it
vigilance
is.
to see if you can get a good view while not blowing your cover.
Okay.
You never know when a bad guy's going to like Rumpelstiltskin themselves and just start randomly announcing all their weaknesses. Think they're alone.
Time to get
It's
wet
true.
again. My mermaid scales are itching.
Yeah, exactly. They do
Mhm.
this.
Chase, may I use my binoculars in this situation?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can see around, like there's like a metal thing far in the distance. It's got a little bit of reflection, but you can't make it out. You can zoom
Gonna
in
pull a
with your binoculars.
Disturbia, and you're gonna
Bounce it off.
looking right back at you.
That's one.
And so many successes. All right. Yeah, so you are able to see the back of a well-dressed man with slicked back hair and a slim figure. And you can see him haul off a very heavy-looking barrel, and he grabs a wooden lid and a wooden mallet and hammers the lid down on one of these barrels of herring, and then just lifts it up, hauls it over one shoulder,
Dude,
very
strong.
and exits out the same entrance that he came.
Was
You
it the
hear
hot brother?
Well, it
You didn't get a
certainly
good look
wasn't.
from the front
It
of him, but
wasn't Pete or Pace. I've seen them, and it wasn't them.
definitely not.
So I haven't seen Zacharias yet, but I know it wasn't Pete or Pace, and he called out to Pete and Pace. So Constance is gonna jump to the conclusion, perhaps, that was Zacharias.
You hear a key turn and lock the door behind him.
Oh. Okay.
I mean, you are in the inside, so you can get yourself out.
Oh, it's not
but-
like a padlock.
Yeah, they
Okay.
have
You just-
proper
yeah.
fire safety regulations here.
Got it. Okay, cool. I'll wait like so I'm not immediately coming out after him, and then I'll just try and slip out the door.
Excellent. Okay. Constance slips out of the warehouse. The rest of you haven't seen Constance yet. You're up in your room. Katrina kind of shook. And are you guys all in the same room right now?
Yeah, I think so. I
Yeah,
think
we
all
were
discussing.
having a debrief.
May I add
Okay.
one more thing, Chase?
Mhm.
Sorry. If I still have a little bit of time, then I'm gonna. Constance would like to try to report what she saw to the rest, so she's gonna go back to their ship,
Mhm.
and send Wolf Wombat, one of the crew, to go deliver a message like, "Oh, you're needed. One of you is needed back on the ship." That kind of thing.
Okay, excellent. On your way back to the ship, you pass by Oscar Undren, who is walking towards the inn, and his eyes kind of widen as he sees you, and then he just averts his gaze.
Okay,
Very
cool.
obviously.
Oscar,
He's
be
like
cool.
not subtle at all.
For once in your life, Oscar, be cool. Okay. Constance doesn't even. She's good at this. She's a professional, so she'll clock him and just brush past him and not give him any notice.
Excellent. Okay, you're heading to the ship to give notice. The rest of you hear a knock on the door across from the room that you're all in.
Oh, well, like not our door.
Not your door. The door, the other room that you own across the hall from you.
Ooh,
Oh.
well, we should maybe go out and say hi.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
Can we seek it? Can we do a little see who it is?
A little peeksy.
Yeah.
Just in case it's like someone with a gun pointed at the door, like let's just like Anton Chigurh with his thing about to blow the lock at us and kill us while we're sitting up there. Like if that's the situation, maybe we'll act differently. But we'll give a quick look.
Man, that would be pretty funny. No, it's just Justina. She's got a tray of waters.
Oh,
Right,
then
we asked
can...
for that.
Oh, please. We are actually all in this room. We are having a small discussion. Please
Yeah.
come
I'm
in.
sorry. Yeah, she'll
please.
come and she'll set the waters down on a table. There you go. Now, if you don't mind, very busy. And
Actually, perhaps before you go, I believe Robert has a question for you because he also chimed in.
Yes. Well, do you know Oscar?
Oscar, the priest.
Not
Yes,
the
it's-
grouch.
is that all he is to you?
An old childhood friend, if it's the same one.
Childhood friend. Okay. Can I trust him?
Can you trust Oscar? Oscar's
Yeah.
a very decent man.
Decent man. Okay. As far as your relationship with him is concerned, have you seen him recently?
Oscar? Yes.
Yeah.
He comes by on occasion.
Okay. Do you like him?
Do I like Oscar? He's
Yeah.
a nice man. We get along well.
Chase, I rolled an observation to see if she really does like him or not.
How many successes did you get?
I got one success.
No, she seems pretty
Ugh.
uncomfortable with this conversation.
Noted.
Okay.
I
Robert,
mean,
I know, Robert, that you love, but we are not here to make matches. We are here to
Yeah.
kill a mermaid or something. I don't know.
I don't think it's love either in this case.
No, I think it
so-
is just a bad priest.
Right.
I do actually. While you are
Typically,
here,
Vicar Carl Eric Hedquist used to come by.
yes. Did you know this Hedquist? I do not know if you have been informed. He has been found dead. I hope this is not a
Yes.
shock to you. You did know this.
No, I heard about the suicide.
Does that seem right to you that he would commit suicide? It seemed very strange to others of his friends, such as Oscar.
I didn't know him like I knew Oscar. I really am quite busy. When you
Yes,
guys can all manipulate if you want.
I can roll manipulate. I could use my advantage.
Ooh.
Ooh.
which is
Oh
that,
yeah, I paid to
is
be
that-
here.
yeah, like I'm an important client. She probably doesn't want to get me because she might get even more yelled at for letting a client get angry.
Yeah, I like it.
Which means I get a buttload of bonus dice.
Nice.
So I'm rolling 4, 5, 6, 7 dice,
Woo!
Dang.
and I got 1 success. And you know what? It's the end of the stream. I'll do a free push.
Yeah.
I got no more successes.
Oh, no.
I still got 1 success. That's enough to win the game.
Yeah, that's how you win Vaesen, one success at a time. All right, so yeah, what are you saying as she tries to leave, Galen?
I'm saying, I know you have other people to attend to, but I think we, as people in the top suite, we have a few questions we would like to ask before we allow this business deal to continue. And I'm sure people would not like it if we weren't able to ask our questions and we had to cancel the whole thing. So if you could indulge me for a moment, I do have some questions about you as an employee of the Amundsen family, if you will deign to
Okay.
stay here for 2 seconds. Also his money, I guess, is a big tip.
Oh, thank you. I could really use that. I appreciate it. Sure.
Yes, you seem overworked here. Is it difficult for them to find people to work for them?
Yes, most people here aren't here looking for this type of work, but I make an honest living. I mean, they pay me very well because they have a hard time finding employees. So I can't complain. My job is full of a lot of hard work, but I enjoy it.
True. You work here, you run the inn. Do you do anything else on the island?
No, that's really it. I mean, you've seen how busy we are, and I'm the sole server unless one of the family steps in, so I stay quite busy. I get time off occasionally to go visit back home at Fiabaka.
It also, you are right, not many people here are here to work. What brought you to this island? Why would you come and work on a far off island with a lot of business, but not much money for you? What led you to stay here? Were you getting away from Oscar because he's kind of a creep?
He's not a creep. He's just, I care about him as a person. I think he's really kind. And I was breaking his heart back in Fiabaka. I guess I kind of came here for him at first, and then the work was good, so I stayed.
You came here for him to get away for his own good, to get you out of his life.
Yeah.
Cringe.
Don't tell him, please.
I will tell him nothing. He doesn't need to know anything.
Thank you.
Do you know anything more about this? I do not like doing business when there are unresolved issues in the air. And to me, this priest, Hedquist, it's an unresolved issue. Could you maybe put my mind at ease here? Do you know anything more about the circumstances of his death?
This isn't like a military interview, is it? She looks kind of nervously at Katrina.
Oh, no, this is not to do with anything military. Katrina herself is retired. The jacket is just for show.
I don't want to get anybody in trouble. I really like this job. But
you do not have the capacity to get anybody in trouble, but only to smooth out dealings to make everything good for all of us concerned. I just wish to know some more details.
I don't know what happened. I believe he did kill himself, but maybe people here pushed him to the edge. I heard him having a very loud disagreement with Abella and Zacharias. He was here about a month ago. It was during the night, and I didn't hear exactly what the argument was about, but they were shouting, and I heard Pete and Pace throw him out. And he was yelling, and I heard him swear that he's going to come back. And that was it.
Actually, this brings me to one final question. Where is Paul?
The last I heard, Paul is visiting Fiabaka. He's out on a business trip of some sort.
How long has he been? Weeks or days? 100 years?
He's been gone maybe about a month or so. Come to think of it, I think he might have left the night before the fight with the Vicar. Maybe the night afterwards, somewhere around there.
He is so dead. Sorry, this is an aside, but yeah, he's been killed by his own family, I'm sure. Don't listen to me now, but I'm talking only to my friends in the audience. That guy's dead. He's so dead. He's completely killed. He has no blood in him. He was turned into herring. He's a herring boy now.
He has been fed
Oh,
to the
he's so dead.
herrings.
This man has nothing but scales and fish flesh left in his clothes.
Everybody who's eaten herring has eaten a
We have
little
all
bit.
eaten a bite of. There is a little bit of Paul in all of us.
Have
tonight,
you
but
eaten
we
the
have
food?
feasted on his flesh.
This is why Chase has been asking. He wants to know if we're cannibals. I would have a question. I have a question, Galen, if it is all right.
Oh, you ask it, please.
From what I have seen of Pete and Pace, they're a bit dull and rough around the edges. Was their brother Paul any different?
Between they're triplets.
It just seems strange that they would send somebody on a mission who perhaps is not the best at business dealings. But of
Well-
course, I'm not a professional at that sort of thing. I would leave that judgment up to Galen.
Neither am I, but I mean, the way that I see it, Zacharias is quite honestly the most competent out of any of them. Pete and Pace are kind of oafs. Don't tell them I said that either.
And
No,
Paul is more of the same.
Well, he's a little smarter, but yeah, he's kind of an oaf too. I don't know. I think that Zacharias is just too important to send out, and so next best, I guess.
Yes, and also Zacharias is still alive, so we don't have to pretend that he's not dead by sending him on the mission. This is all we understand the situation, please. Do we? Hey, just hold on 1 second, but put your fingers in your ears so you cannot hear us say this next part. Do we have any other questions to ask her about anything going on?
Not that I can think of.
I don't think so.
Okay, maybe we let her go.
Poor
Okay.
thing.
Or do we just do we slip a little bit of mermaid stuff in there? We're like, see you later. Don't let the mermaids bite.
We
the
could
ones.
ask. Do we as a group know anything about that one island, or is that just Constance that knows?
We know
about
about the Grave Island.
that? We could
Yeah.
ask her what she knows about that place. It seems a bit mysterious.
because we thought maybe we'd go there. And also, I have one question. We are thinking of seeing these sites while we are here. Do you know anything about Graveyard Isle, Death Town, Cemeteryville?
Oh, Graveyard Isle?
Yes, that one.
There's not much out there. I hear it's kind of dangerous to sail there, but we have somebody who lives there, a really good fisherman if he's sober. If you catch him early in the morning, he might not be drunk yet. He comes by semi-often. His name's Orvar.
Orvar. Or maybe we will talk to him in the morning. This is good. Thank you.
He just went home last night, so I don't know if he'll be back within the next
No,
few
he is
days or not.
probably dead too. He will be the herring we shall eat in the morning, I'm sure.
He doesn't like to sail on the new moon, which is tonight, so I imagine he'll probably wait that out. Some kind of sailor superstition.
No, this is not superstition. This is just dark when there is a new moon.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know
Yes.
that.
No, it's not like, oh, the ghost of it. No, it's just very dark.
Wait, isn't the new moon the full moon?
No, the full moon is the middle of it. A new moon is after we have finished with the old moon, and then is now the new moon.
Oh, that
It's the
makes
first-
sense.
So it is there's very little moon.
Oh, I'm not a sailor and I don't really pay attention to
You
this.
just
Fun
don't
fact.
look up at the night sky on occasion and
Well,
just
I mean, I do, but I don't know the names for it. Like, what's it called when it's half a moon?
half
That is
moon.
called a half moon. Fun fact about the new moon: it is actually the same as the old moon. It is just kind of turned around a little.
I figured
There is actually only one moon. We call it the
Still
moon.
the cracks are showing.
Are
Are we
losing
talking?
it over
Are
the
we talking
moon
to
comment.
Justina or to Chase? What's
In
going
fact-
on here?
From a scientific perspective, the moon is always full. It is just a big moon. We can only see half of it sometimes.
because of the shadow.
This is a shadow. You see, the Earth is a sphere, and the moon it goes around the Earth. And sometimes
And-
when the sun is in play, and the moon, it's a whole big.
I've heard that the Earth is a sphere. I've heard
Yes,
that
yes, we
part.
are all.
What
yes,
a
it is
clever
a
girl
sphere.
you are.
We discovered this only last year when we tried to sail off the edge and went the whole way around. It was very disorienting.
Well, I have to get back to work, but I really appreciate the big tip. Is there anything else I can? I should go back soon. I don't want to get in trouble.
No, I believe we are done. Thank you so much for your help. I will let
Thank
the admins know that you have been very helpful, and hopefully they will give you a raise.
But
or maybe
don't
hire
tell them
someone
about the
else.
things I said.
I will tell them you said that children are simpletons and that they are all dead.
Please don't.
I'll tell them you know nothing about the moon. No, I will tell them nothing. This is okay.
Okay. Enjoy your water.
Yes, thank you very much. Also, bring back rum or something.
Didn't that make her up for you? Right. I would
Yes,
recommend.
I will have some rum.
I don't want to tell you how to drink, but maybe you should skip some. She points to Katrina.
Yes,
How
she cannot
very
hold
considerate of
her
you.
liquor. She does not drink on the night of the new moon. That is
It's
now that is a
bad luck.
superstition.
She nods and she heads off.
Get out of here, you. Okay, cool.
All right,
So,
what are you
yeah,
guys doing?
I mean, Paul's dead. He was the barrel boy.
Paul's
He's dead.
super dead.
Right.
And I think Headquist maybe found out about that element of it, and he was like, "You're doing human sacrifices.
Oh,
I'll
you
be
can't-
back with a whole inquisition." They were like, and then they killed him.
So maybe it has to
Oh.
be.
Hmm.
So maybe there is something to like
You gotta love the person you sacrifice.
yeah, or care about the
Mm.
person. Yeah,
Mm.
maybe.
Or maybe she also like, I don't know, maybe she was like, to her, she's got an abusive husband. She's like, yeah, take that guy. Please take my husband. I made that joke last time, but I'll do it again. And then she's got 3 dumb, brutish children who are just living reminders of a man who abused her. So she's like, yeah, sure, take my kids too. What, every 30 years I'll give you a new one. I don't care.
That's possible. But also, I don't know. I'm wondering if the abuse thing is true.
Oh, it might also be, it might also be a lie. She might just be
Because
like,
the vicar
cover.
was friends with the husband and
Yeah, he
like
was
they
a nicer
described him
dude,
as
wasn't he?
nice. Yeah, it's like nice compared to all the rest of the family.
yeah, but she might still not like him.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
It might be that
is
she's
true.
terrible, but either way, maybe she's callous enough to just give away children to a mermaid. Like, she's got
True.
a better child in Zacharias. Get rid of
Yeah.
Paul. He's an idiot.
We
Or
really
maybe not.
need
Maybe
to
Paul's on the mainland. I don't know. Like, he might not be dead.
maybe Paul murdered the priest and they sent him away.
Yeah.
To,
Maybe
for,
he
like,
murdered the
cover-
priest
like to
and then also left to drop the body on a different beach and then like get out of town for a while until the heat dies down. Could
yeah,
just be a
something
murder.
like that. Yeah, maybe.
Um,
we need
but
to
yeah.
we need to get in the room together and swap info.
Yeah, true.
Should we
yeah,
cut
it's
back to
interesting.
Constance?
Well, I don't know if you guys come to the ship or not. I guess if they
Maybe
don't,
we will. I
I'm
think we
gonna-
should probably go back to the ship at night to just, or like before the dinner, just to check in, maybe see what the priest is doing, see how the situation lies, maybe recollect any gear we think we might need for the evening.
Okay, Constance is not certain whether or not the message will get there in time before she has to leave. So as she's waiting on their ship, she's going to go into Galen's quarters and take some of the parchment and paper in there and just like, here's everything. She's gonna write a report.
Nice.
She's done that many times for Galen. And yeah, she'll leave it with no one else except the wombat. Because Chase,
I'm not the wombat.
you
Leave it with
won't
the
make
wolf at least.
you won't make one of the hero NPCs turn on us. So
Well,
Wombat's already turned on me.
I guess I could just leave it in Galen's quarters. Actually, I
Stab
will
it.
do that.
Okay, you want to make Galen very happy? Take it, put it on the back of the door, and stab it in with a knife, like a real pirate.
That seems like not very subtle though, and she doesn't want anyone else finding this information.
No one else is allowed in. Put it on the inside of the door.
Okay, let's say that you guys don't get the message in time. And you know what? Actually, scrap the messenger, Chase. I like this plan more.
Okay.
I'm gonna write a report in Galen's quarters, and then with whatever time left I have before I have to go sailing off to Graveyard Isle, I'm going to create an elaborate scavenger hunt
Nice.
and I'm going to hide the report, and then I'm going to leave little clues for Galen in order to find the report. And then what I will leave stabbed on his door is the first clue.
Perfect.
How's that? With a letter opener, I'll stab it into the back of your door with the first
Yep.
clue.
Good.
And
We'll do
I've created a
little
puzzle.
scavenger hunt. Yeah, I
Yep.
love it. Much better.
It's a small. Okay, she does it kind of angry and also a little sad because she thinks about like how they used to like play these kinds of games, like these little puzzle games. So she doesn't know what he'll think of it, but either way, it's useful. And then she'll head off to whatever the ship is that she's taking off to. Vacation Island.
Nice.
The way that Chase has leaned in is like really intimidating me. Like I feel like we're about to roll initiative or something. He's just like,
Did you eat the food? Did you eat the herring?
What
you
is
get
the phase
food?
of the moon where it is half? He's ready
you're
to
the
get
one
vengeance for that.
You're the
I'm just
fool
catching
who's
up on
sailing
self notes.
during a full moon. And
But I'm getting back before nightfall. We're going during the day.
Okay, so you're leaving a note detailing what happened, and you're heading to the ship on your own, right?
Yep, that sounds right.
Yeah.
Alone, unprotected.
Is that the cliffhanger that we're leaving on?
No,
Oh.
we're good. We
Is
got
there any gear
some more
on your
stuff.
ship that would be helpful that Constance might take with her? Do you guys have anything that Constance should nab while she's here? If
Well, we
she's
can't take
going
a
sailing
cannon.
off? No. Yeah, probably not that.
The gun that we got from Oscar, I don't know if anyone in
I have a
particular
gun.
claimed it. Okay.
Yeah. I'm not very good with it, but I have
a
it.
slide rule.
You don't think that's gonna be useful?
There's a horse. I think I brought the horse in my inventory.
Fantastic.
You know, actually, I will bring the horse because graveyard. I have to go to Orvar's house, so
yeah, you can fit it on a boat.
Yeah, if they let me, I'll bring the horse.
Yeah, just ride it on board.
Very nice. Okay, so you're grabbing some extra gear. You're heading to this ship. The rest are in the inn, having just spoken with Justina. Constance, as you're packing all of your stuff to the ship, and you're walking to this fishing boat, you pass by Zacharias. You've seen him in photos. He walks right past you. He doesn't seem to really even take any notice to you. As you walk by, something you notice, he has just the most intoxicating smell.
He's a friggin' mermaid!
He smells like highly expensive cologne that just fills your chest with warmth. It is so good.
Wow. This isn't something like I have to resist. I just notice.
No, you just notice.
Okay. Just I look. I check him out from behind.
I bet.
Yeah, you
for two reasons. One being the obvious one, and two being, does he match the silhouette of who I saw in the warehouse?
He does. You can see the back of his hair. You can get a good idea that that's who it was.
The back of his head is ridiculous. Okay. Cool.
And yeah, as you're heading to the ship and the others are in the inn, that seems like a good place to set up for next week.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna split the party even harder. So
lots of threads to pull.
I'm heading back to Uppsala.
Galen's out of here. Fantastic. That was so fun, guys. Thank you so much, everybody in chat. Thank you for all the support and for the contributions and for chatting and for hanging out. We appreciate you guys. Let's talk about the awesome people we had with us tonight and where you can find them on the internet aside from here. Bill, why don't you tell the good people where you can be found?
Hey, I'm Bill. You can check out all the podcasts I make. Escape This Podcast, Solve This Murder. Check out my streams at PlayThisGame_live to see us play. We've just been playing Call of the Sea, which was a puzzle game that was free on the Epic Games Store last week. It's fun. It's like a kind of 1930s Cthulhu mystery adventure thing. It's good fun. So check that out as well. You can catch up and watch more of that. It's good. Go and check it all out.
Fantastic. Good stuff. Highly recommend Bill's content. Thanks for playing, Bill. Matt, where can you be found?
Hey, you can find me everywhere as Improv and RPG. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Highly recommend Matt's content. Thanks for playing, Matt. Me, Tori, and M, along with Katie behind the scenes of the Level 1 Geek team. We can be found here. Any additional announcements, M or Tori?
Nope.
Oh, I always stay quiet because
wow, yeah,
has
M's always
I
like
know.
packed full of stuff.
I don't think I have anything for the rest of this month. I think, do I? Yeah, I don't think I have anything the rest of this month. My next stuff's in April, so
stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Fantastic. Nothing else here for me. We have been Level 1 Geek and Bill and Matt from Escape This Podcast and Improv in D&D, or Improv in RPG, correct?
Yes.
Excellent. Still getting used to that one. I love it. Cool. So thanks so much for joining us, everybody, tonight. Everybody go take a long rest. Go eat some herring. See what it tastes like. I'm kind of curious. I think it's gross, but maybe not. And
you love it.
Yeah, we'll
Don't
catch you guys
trust
next week.
the hot ones.
Have a good night, everybody.
Bye.